Yeah. Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just truly, probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat. Well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Scotty Pablo in the Big O Show. Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show. We go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping you glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the woman's in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know. Culture, probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour. Big O, a.k.a. Orlando also Gary. Yeah.
Ready to rock on a beautiful Friday. Getting ready for a little Isaias action this weekend. I hope you did your hurricane shopping. I did mine a couple days ago. We are locked and loaded. The good thing is that thing drifted a little bit more to the east, right? The cone of death is a little bit more to the right now, to the east. We feel for our friends in the Bahamas, by the way. Prayers to our friends in the Bahamas. We hope you guys, I hope you guys survive from this and you're able to get through it. Unfortunately, it's already a hurricane. It's already a Cat 1, as you all know out there. So please, okay, because remember what happened with Andrew. Andrew was supposed to hit the Dade-Broward border. That's where the eye was supposed to go. And it ended up jogging south, and it hit Homestead instead. Okay, so these things can jog one way or another. The experts know more than us, but they don't know everything. Just like what's going on with the pandemic. The experts know more than us, but they don't know everything, and they're learning. Just like a couple months ago, they didn't think it was an airborne virus. Now they learned it's an airborne virus. So, all these things develop and you find out, and meteorologists are no different than an educator, than a lawyer, than a doctor, than an engineer, than a sports talk host. It doesn't matter. We got to read, we got to evolve, we've got to learn, we've got to adjust, right? And that's what ends up happening, because you gather more information, you learn more, you get educated along the way, and in the process, you then have to alter your decisions. You know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering right now, are they going to alter the decision in baseball? What's going to happen in baseball? Because now, Cardinals and Brewers game has been postponed due to positive tests for coronavirus. Positive tests. Not one, but multiple. We don't know how many yet. Okay? But I wanted to point this out right away to get into this, because I'm a little pissed off. Okay? I'm a little pissed off because the ignorance in this country is beyond me, dude. Morons walking around at a chain smokers concert with no masks. People that are protesting without masks. People going to Trump rallies without masks. Morons loaded up the pools in the Ozarks without masks. People going to beaches and everything without masks. People trying to fight their way into Walmarts without a mask. And then we have baseball. And the ignorance is everywhere, dude. It's not just our government officials. It's not just our residents. It's sports. Well, certain layers of sports. Because the NBA and the NHL figured it out. No. There's a pandemic. We need to do it in a bubble, and that's how we're going to do it. Control the environment. But this is what pisses me off. Bill, what did you hear after the Marlins game was canceled? Do you remember what story came out about tests all over Major League Baseball? That they were all negatives? You remember that?
Well, that's what they claimed.
Right. Well, no, but that's fine. And then they come out, right, and then everybody writes about it. Well, you know, outside of this Marlins Phillies incident, well, you know what? All the other tests around Major League Baseball have been negative. What does that mean, dude? You have to evolve. You have to educate yourself, correct? Let me evolve. Let me educate you. Let me walk you through it, and let me walk baseball through it, okay? Because Jamie, you guys don't know who Jamie Gillen is, right? Do you know who Jamie Gillen is, Bill?
I can't claim to say that I do.
Of course not. If you did, I may unfriend you. And I'm not talking about Facebook. I mean physically. I may never talk to you again. He's the Browns punter, okay? I don't expect you to know the Browns punter because then I would go, Bill, you have no life. Please get a life. But Jamie Gillen is learning that even if you're young and healthy, COVID-19 won't necessarily go away. Gillen, who was placed on the Browns reserve COVID-19 list on Thursday, told Tom Pelissero he tested positive earlier this month. He thought the virus was out of his system and then test positive again this week. I thought I was just tired, Gillen said of his first feeling, symptoms around 4th of July. I went and punted and kicked. I had 2 days of symptoms where I was achy, had a fever. The third day, I had no fever or symptoms. I found out July 9th. Remember, he was feeling it on the 4th. On the 9th, I had it. I did approximately 2 weeks of quarantine from the 9th and then went back to living normally. I tested positive for antibodies on the 28th. Then on Wednesday, the 29th, somehow, I tested positive again. I feel great. It's almost been a month since I initially tested positive. Remember, we're all in this together. Wear a mask, he says. The guy has been testing positive for a month. Quarantine and everything. Thought he had it out of his system. Learn, educate, evolve. Okay? Nobody knows everything about this thing. And Major League Baseball, you guys are just a bunch of freaking morons. And football, you're even bigger morons. But I mean, football proves it all the time, especially some of their players with some of the things that they do off the field. They already proved they lead in the moron category. Okay? You know, the Neanderthal type of attitude or image that football gets, well, yes, the fans have it, some of them, and definitely some of the players have it. And there's no doubt that the people above, they don't care. So it's not that they're stupid, they're just insensitive and they don't care about human beings. You cannot have sports in the middle of an explosive pandemic. Do you know the numbers yesterday, by the way? Anybody know the numbers? Because they're higher yesterday. Not sure if you know that. Maybe follow me on Twitter every day because I update them every day. Just to remind, I'm doing it not because I want to be a Debbie Downer. I want to remind people this is bad. And people still don't want to learn about this. And they still want to be ignorant about it. We had 68,569 cases. We lost 1,465 people yesterday. Do you realize that? We lost 1,465 Americans. The number just gets bigger and bigger every day. Florida had 252 deaths yesterday, bigger than the day before. Another record. California went down to 114. Texas went up to 322. And remember, nobody was more ignorant about this virus. Man, you think DeSantis was ignorant? The moron that runs Texas was worse. And look at his state now. Arizona had 2,525 cases and had 172 deaths out of that. This is not going away because we don't allow it to go away. Because we do the things that baseball is doing and we do all the stupid things that we do. I mean, I saw that drive-in concert, and for everybody to leave their cars and go, I mean, it just, and for them to allow that. And Bill had a great call when I talked about this 2 days ago, that the chain smokers should have done something about it. They should have said, no. Get back to your cars or we're not continuing the concert. But they contributed to it also.
I actually think that was Pat in Asheville.
Oh, it was Pat?
Yeah, I had said, piggybacked on him, that they could have, said that's it.
That's what it was.
We're done.
Okay.
But Pat was the one that initiated.
Okay.
Got to give credit where credit's due, brother.
All right, there you go. And I got to give Pat Nashville some love. Thank you, Pat, for the present. We will display him on Monday on the studio. Okay, my man. Thank you. Pat sent me a nice present. I don't want to. I'll display it on Monday. I want to save it to Monday because right now I'm not in my studio, so it's just one of those things. But another one of our listeners contributed to something that's going to go on. I got to guys. You guys are going to make me get really creative there, because there's only so much space. So I had to move my Spider-Man and everything. He's no longer right behind the Eiffel Tower. We got him somewhere else. It's funny, man. But we're starting to get really creative with some of the stuff that we got back there. But anyway, thank you, Pat in Asheville, for the present. We will display it on Monday, and we'll completely talk about it on Monday because it's. You gotta see it, you know what I mean, to be able to talk about it. So thank you, my friend. I appreciate you as always, Pat in Asheville. And I see that a bunch of you already have chimed in. We got a couple of super chats coming in already. Josh is the first with the super chat saying happy Friday, and Bill and everybody. Thank you, Josh. And Myron follows up with another super chat. He says, he was going to come by here today to pick up the band, but he goes, happy Friday, I will go after the storm passes through this weekend. Be safe, everyone, this weekend. Be ready no matter what. And he's right. He's right. Just because the cone of death has jogged to the east, you stay prepared the same way. Put up your shutters. Keep them on anyway. Put them on and don't take them off till November 1st, man. That's what you should do. What the hell?
The darker the house, the cooler it is.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I love it. I love how the house gets darker and the bedroom and everything. I love that, dude. I like no light coming in. I like pitch darkness sleeping.
So your favorite blinds are tinfoil?
Oh, yeah. No, we have.
Yeah, blackout curtains.
Yeah, dude. We have some curtains that are,
Tinfoil's the old college trick.
Yeah, we had the regular white curtains, and then we have these thick black, purplish,
That's exactly what they are. Black out, bye-bye, see you, son.
Yeah, nice and thick, and there is no light getting through that bitch. It is awesome, dude. It is fantastic. David says, watch Nats and Jays on weekend. Players spitting all over the place in close proximity to each other in dugouts after sliding a second. Should be fined or suspended for spitting these days. Well, look, man, David, you're right, that contributes to it. But the bottom line is you can't be playing sports in a pandemic. Unless you're in the bubble, like the NBA and the NHL, where you're controlling the environment. Nobody goes out. Baseball cannot survive if everybody's going home. and dealing with their families and their friends, and you don't know where their families and friends have all been. And any of us can get this by going to the drive-thru one day. We can get it accidentally. We stepped into an elevator and pressed a button. And then we touched our face, and we didn't realize it, and that's it. You're a carrier. I just showed you the Browns punter. The guy's been walking around with COVID for a month. Come on, man.
That's brilliant.
Right. I mean, a lot of these tests, some of these tests are not accurate either. So some people are walking around negative and they're positive. That's why you must social distance. That's why you must wear the mask. And this is why there's a part of me that when I saw the Cardinals headline, and now, by the way, we're talking about, last time I checked, Bill, Cardinals and Brewers, that's not the Marlins. Those are playoff contending teams, correct? Last time I checked?
Yes,
okay.
Definitely.
All right. I just want to ask. I know
even without Yelich hitting, I think he's 1 for 27 or something.
Yeah, he's 1 for 202.
You know what, though? The way he's played the last 3 years, you're going to have these things.
Yeah. Pat in Nashville says, you're welcome. Look forward to seeing you in your museum. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate you. But it's one of those things where I see that headline and I had to laugh a little. You know why? Because it's like they came out right after the Marlins got their positive test, and they wanted to justify and just ostracize the Marlins. Like, oh, no, it must have been the Marlins. They're dirty. It's their fault. No, dude, you're in the middle of a pandemic. It's a challenge for me every day to avoid this pandemic. It's a challenge for Bill to avoid it every single day. And we work. Okay? Yes, there you go, Bill. Show them. There you go. And we work every day, and we go outside. We do more remotes in 1 month than all of the AM and FM stations in town combined. In other words, they do none. And in 1 month, we're doing 12 remotes without Hialeah Park. With Hialeah Park, it would be 16 remotes in a month.
That's probably more than them all combined in a year.
Yeah. Okay? I mean, seriously. So it's not like we're always home and all. No, we have to go out. We have to venture out. We have to do our job. And while we're doing our job, it's a mission. But we have to be diligent about it. Wipe this down. Wash your hands. All those kind of things. I always make sure that once I know I'm leaving the house and I'm going to go somewhere that's outside of my car and my house, I know that the second I get back home, I have to wash my hands. It's the first thing I have to do. No matter what, whatever I do, I got to go to the sink, wash my hands. So that way I know that I can touch my face or whatever. Like right now, I don't mind touching my face because I've only been in my car, and all this stuff is my stuff that I do every day. Nobody else touches this except him, and I'm with him every day. So it's the same people, my family and this guy. That's it. And when people come, it's distance. Today, Mike Fiorellino is going to be on with us at 1:30. We'll have a little, space between us. Obviously, I'm sure he'll wear his mask too when it's all said and done. And we'll have our space. You know what I mean?
See me? I got the gloves, and when I get done with the gloves, I take them off, and then they get hit with the Clorox fabric sanitizer.
You gotta do it.
Then I gel, and then I do the hand sanitizer on my hands, and then I could touch our stuff again.
Yeah. So now let's see what happens with the Cardinals, because I say this because with the Marlins, they're not considered a playoff team, right? So since they're not considered a playoff team, they can sit out a week. What are you going to do with the Cardinals and the Brewers now? And this bogus 60-game season, they made it even more bogus by now saying, well, if we have to play doubleheaders, there'll be 7-inning doubleheaders. And look, I get it, a restricted season, you got to limit everything and all, but you're just making it more of a joke. And you're never going to get through the season anyway. in 60 days. Because now the Cardinals and the Brewers, what are you going to do with them now? How many days you got to keep them out? How many games are they going to miss? How much does it affect the next teams they play? Because if they've got to be out for a week, then they're gonna be obviously set back. And so now you got to make up all those games too. And it's after the Marlins tested positive, people almost made it sound like, well, no, you know, if everybody else takes care of it, we'll be fine. Nothing's going to happen. Boom. You know, we've been playing for a week, right? It's been a week of games, and look what's gone on.
A week as of yesterday. Thursday was the opening day.
Yeah. A week, and look what's gone on already. I mean, come on, dude. Philadelphia, they had a couple people test positive. Now they shut down the facility. You cannot do this in the middle of an explosive pandemic. Okay? Europe has completely crushed it. So they're slowly but surely now getting back to life, and they're able to even keep their sports going. But that's because they've controlled the pandemic. We have not. The pandemic is getting worse for us every single day. I don't know where the numbers are right now for Florida, but I'm sure it's not good. Because, I mean, why would it be? It hasn't been good for a while now. But that's the thing. How are you going to get by in this world and keep everybody safe when there are so many sick people walking around? Oh, by the way, we're at 256 dead for today. Okay? You got your mic on. So 256 dead already today. That's going to be the number for Florida. 9,000 cases, 256. No, but, you know, the governor will spin it like, you know, everything's fine. You know, you got one guy worried about, oh, no, we don't want mail-in voting, but no, we want to pack your school with kids and get all the teachers and administrators sick.
If you want a cut of the $105 billion for schools, you got to open.
All right, there you go. Let's hold our schools hostage now. So we have to serve our kids up like, you know, I mean, it's just the priorities here are just all screwed up. And because we're in love with money so much, these sports are, I mean, come on, man, football. How is football going to survive in these conditions? Really? Think about that. How is football going to survive? Baseball has no contact. The MLS is screwed the second they leave the bubble because they have 1,000 more times contact than, what's it called, than baseball. And you think you're going to keep everybody home? You think they're going to be able to stay away from everybody? No, it's impossible. It just is. Kenneth in Cleveland chiming in with a super chat. Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate you, my brother.
Stay hydrated, bro. If anybody's outside, stay hydrated. It is
always
swelteringly nasty today.
Yes, it is. It is hot, and if I was young, I would say it'd be Flaming Youth. There you go. Get it? Flaming Youth, Destroyer album. Okay. All right, that's fine. Anyway, a couple of you guys might have picked that up on there in the little Flaming Youth. Last night, I made you a little money. I just want to say, made you a little money. If you went with our picks yesterday, since basketball started, and I've been watching the MLS tournament, I figured, you know what? Let me give you a little scoopage. Let me give you what I think is going to end up happening. And I told you that they would be playing hard yesterday, okay? I forgot what I heard yesterday. It's an NBA guy. I don't know if it was radio or TV. And it was like, well, you know, I don't know if they'll try that much. And I'm like, I think it was radio. And I'm like, what do you mean they're not going to try as hard? They got positioning to get to and all that. And so yesterday we gave you 3 games. First of all, we told you with the over in the Philadelphia Sporting KC game, it was 2.5 goals. I told you to take the over, okay? The game ended 3-1. It was 3-1 at halftime. So by halftime, you had your money, and you were saying, oh, thank you very much. And I was saying, you're welcome, okay? Then I told you, I like the Jazz in this game against the Pelicans, man. Jazz were getting 4.5 points. Pelicans were the ones favored. Well, guess what happened? Jazz beat the Pelicans 106-104. So you are a winner, 2-0 on the evening. Did you stay up for the third game, Bill?
Well, yeah, I did.
The whole game?
No. What? Well, you know what I was doing, watching the Yankees with my dad.
Okay.
And
They
but
won.
I would go and
They won yesterday. Right?
Judge 9th inning, 1 out,
Yeah.
3-run homer.
Was it 8-4 or something? They won, right?
8-6.
8-6, right, yeah.
Yeah, we were down 6-5 and ended up getting the 3 runs in the 9th.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice
I
game.
saw that.
But
saw it.
I was, keeping track of the basketball, tight game all the way through.
Yeah.
Obviously saw the highlights, rewound back. You know what, man? Bottom line, fundamentals. They talk about when you're going to the basket, follow your shot. That's what LeBron did. Followed his shot, and if you looked, there's 5 Clippers around him. He goes right in the middle.
Yeah.
Nobody boxed out. So their lack of fundamentals and LeBron's fundamentals wins the game at the end.
And the defense at the end, LeBron. I mean, he switched,
Oh, the way he switched off. Oh.
switched up on both guys and everything. I mean, he won the game right
He's
there.
not your average 35-year-old man.
No, he's a cyborg. I've said it for years. He's a cyborg. And I told you in that game, Lakers were favored by 4.5, and I said, you know what? Lakers might win that game. Maybe Clippers win that game, but I think it's going to be tight. I'm taking the Clippers. I'm taking the dog. I'm taking 4.5. Guess what happened yesterday? Clippers lost by 2, 103-101, and you are a winner. And if you went with all 3 bets, 3-0. There you go. So we made you a little money yesterday. So let me try to make a little money tonight. We got Memphis and Portland. The Jailblazers are favored by 3 in this one. I'm going to go with the dog. Memphis has played better basketball in the second half of their season during the regular season. I know they've been 4 months off and all that stuff. I'm going to take the dog. I wouldn't even be surprised if Memphis wins the game, but I think they'll keep it close enough. I'm going to take the dog here. I'm going to go with Memphis. Boston is taking on Milwaukee. Milwaukee is favored by 5. I'm going to go with Boston here. I'm going to take the dog again, +5. I'm going to count on Boston's defense to keep this thing close and tight. In the MLS tonight, LAFC is taking on Orlando City. LAFC is favored by 1.5 goals. They are favored by -134. Orlando's +301. The over and under is 3.5 goals. I am going to go with the over on the goals here. Again, I think there'll be 4 goals or more. LAFC's offense is awesome, dude. I mean, they can score, bro, and I don't care whether their guys are in or out or whatever. It is impressive to watch them. They're the best team in the league by far. Credit to Orlando City. They got their stuff straightened out and have played really well in this tournament. And by the way, it doesn't look too bad for us because Orlando, yesterday Philadelphia won 3-1 to advance, and Orlando's playing LAFC. So 2 of the teams that we had to deal with in our group are the ones that are advancing deep into this tournament. So just a little solace in the whole thing, anyway. But there you go. Those are my 3 picks for tonight. Take Memphis +3, take Boston +5, take the over 3.5 goals in the LAFC Orlando game. Those are my picks right there. All right? Hope you won yesterday. Hope you'll win tonight. Okay?
You know what happens today?
What happens today?
Well, obviously, little homer here, but the fact is, it isn't baseball season until the Yankees and Red Sox play the first time. And tonight, of course, is the first Yankees-Red Sox game of the season. So baseball is officially in go.
Barring a positive COVID test.
Well, I was going to say, as of right now, but, subject to change, compliments of COVID-19.
Yep. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We're out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines, like we are every Friday. Come on out here, see Larry Schlossberg and all the great people out here. Pat Nasto, man, just amazing people. If you own or lease an Acura, Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber, they run that service department, and they do an outstanding job. I know I've experienced it for 10 years. We've got 2 Acuras in our household, 2 RDXs. Listen, I would never tell you that. All of my sponsors, we use them. All of my sponsors, I believe in them. If I don't, I wouldn't represent them. That's why I'm telling you to come on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Tell them Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com. Are you tired of watching?
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
I got a call coming in right now from Live Oak, Florida. I don't know anybody in Live Oak, Florida. Okay? Have no idea who that is. That's probably one of those. It's weird how when they call you with solicitations and all that, you get them from everywhere, right? From like Syria or Russia or Live Oak, Florida, or, it's just like, it's always like odd places that you don't know anybody there, and you look at the caller ID and you're like, okay, that's definitely not for me. So boom. I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't answer the phone if it's not in my caller ID. Go to voicemail. If it's important, you'll leave a message. If you know me, you'll send me a text, right? I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. Why am I going to answer a phone that I know normally 99% of the time they're just going to try to sell me something? You know what I love? The person that calls me and says, well, your car warranty. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? It's like I've had my car with Acura or Toyota for years now. Like, I know what my warranty, boom, I know it's not you. Or they call, well, we've got a loan for you. Like, who the hell asks for a loan, dude? Get out of here,
Heard you need a loan, Fred.
Yeah, it's just like they come up with all this crap, and, they're just trying to sell, man. Or they're trying to sucker you out of your information. so then they can screw you over too. That's the other thing, right? So, and you can tell it's always a sales or whatever, because after the call's done, you don't see a voicemail come after. Because they're not going to leave us a voicemail because they know they're not going to get a call back. So you don't see the voicemail, and so you're like, okay, now you know that it wasn't really serious in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Gobert tested positive for coronavirus until recently. He refused to wear a mask. Now he's blaming his COVID on wearing a mask. Can't make this stuff up. I mean, it's just stupid. It's like, okay, dude, you're infected because you're infected. Has nothing to do with the mask. It's proven. Okay? If you social distance, if you stay away from people, which is social distancing, if you wear a mask, if you wash your hands, that's what they've done in Europe. Okay? In Europe, they're not doing all the stupid things we're doing here. That's why they've actually crushed it. And that's why they can get back. And those communist states that sent everybody to their homes, okay, I get it, but that's how they knocked it out too. And it's not that it's taking our rights away. It's just, this is how we have to come together as a country. This is how we fight. By staying away and clean and washing our hands and wearing masks and all that. And then we can bring it down and we can all get back to normal. We have millions of people out of work, and they want to work, and they deserve to work. We have millions of jobs that need to get back started again. We need businesses to get back started again. But we can if we keep spreading this thing. And if we have ignorant fools like Gobert, or the protesters, that half of those people are not wearing masks. And you're not helping us. I respect fighting for the cause, but fight for the cause with the mask. Look, Bill and I are fighting for our cause right now with a mask. Survival. Survive to make a little money, survive to keep it away, that kind of stuff. Anyway, hurricane watches now, by the way, have been issued for the Florida coast. That's not what we wanted. It was tropical storm watches. Now we've got hurricane watches. Let's see what we got here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's open this thing up here. A hurricane watch has been issued for northern Broward through Brevard County as Hurricane Isaias pummels the southern Bahamas as a Category 1 storm. According to the National Hurricane Center's 11 a.m. update, Isaias is about 295 miles southeast of Nassau and maintaining Category 1 status with 75-mile-an-hour winds, a slight weakening from earlier Friday morning. The tropical storm watch for southeast Florida from Ocean Reef North to the Sebastian Inlet and Lake Okeechobee was upgraded to a warning, and a hurricane watch was issued from North Deerfield Beach to Volusia, Brevard County line. Forecasters no longer predict Isaias will strengthen to Category 2 storm, but they do expect it will approach the northeast Bahamas and Florida East Coast on Saturday as a powerful Category 1 with 90-mile-an-hour winds. So, folks, that means, and the good thing is we're going to be on the left side of the storm, as we all know that we've been here long enough. The right side of the storm is always the worst side of the storm. So if you have to be on a side, it's on the left, and we're a little ways from it. So we're still going to get those feeder bands, and they will deliver some rain. They're going to deliver some wind. They could knock down a power line or two. They could knock down.
Don't forget, the feeder bands are where the tornadoes spawn, man.
That's right.
Big time.
All right, but again, we're on the left side, so it's not as bad as the right side. So those feeder bands on the right side will be a lot stronger than the feeder bands on the left side. Okay, so let's make sure but be responsible. Get your water, board up your windows, because again, the experts know more than us, but they don't know everything. Yesterday, last night, they think it was going to go Category 2. Now they think it's going to stay a strong Category 1. There you go. Why? They got more information. Now they can educate themselves a little bit more and then give us the information. You know what I mean? But we all, since we've all learned this already, especially with Andrew, and I don't know, it's, with Andrew, we're approaching 30 years because it was 92. And it starts to get to a point where you forget about it, like we did with Sandy, because Sandy was in the 60s, and we didn't get pummeled till 92. And so when you've got that amount of time in between storms, you start to develop this comfort zone, and you think, it won't be that bad, and boom, you get walloped. So because of that, take this thing serious, because if it jogs west, we're screwed, okay? And then we've got to deal with a much stronger storm. But if you're ready, you got your supplies, you board up your house, you're good, okay? And remember, folks, for those of you that have animals and for yourself, if you're going through a lot of anxiety and stress, go see my friends at VSS West Pines. You'll get 20% off, and go get your CBD products there, man. If you're dealing with pain, in fact, my wife, she jammed her toe bad a couple days ago, and she had this CBD balm that she used for her shoulder. She's been using it for her toe, and her toe has felt better in the last couple days because of that. So if you're in pain, they've got CBD for that. But for right now, anxiety and stress that you've got to deal with right now, getting everything ready, the dogs, the cats, there's going to be thunder and lightning. If they get a little crazy, they've also got the CBD product there. And they're at 12397 Pembroke Road over there in Pembroke Pines. Remember, you get 20% off if you mention me, okay? 20% off your CBD anything in the store, but I'm just telling you, your CBD is really good right now, okay? Let's see, what do we have here? I haven't done any roll call. I haven't done anything today here. Omar Lopez, by the way, he was number 1 today. Julius 305, Pat in Asheville. John Santos says, your hair is effed up. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Ian from Brooklyn. Gus 1388. Mark McIntyre. Antonio Matos. Cookie Vice. Super V. Matthew Walker says, hell of a game last night between the Clippers and the Lakers. It was awesome, dude. Alex Diaz is in the house. Myron, of course, he sent in the super chat. Super Boom Shack in the house. Let's see. Ronald Hubbard says, happy Friday, everyone. I hope everybody's staying safe. Very dangerous times we are living in. I agree. NorCal says, I think my girls love Big O's voice because they're perky. Puff, puff, please don't give. That's right. Roll personals. Let's see. Super Boom Shack says, Omar, any requests? I start with some Lisa and Expose. Can you feel the beat within my heart? Can you feel my... Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Mark McIntyre says, R.I.P. to Herman Cain. I agree. We said the same yesterday. Life is a Gamble says, Washington claims CB Ryan Lewis off waivers from the Dolphins. Lewis played 293 snaps. Okay, yes, that's nice. Good for them. He probably won't play because football won't be taking the field. Big O ain't playing with those rings. Let's see. What else do we have here? Julius 305 says, more like Lime. Ah, yes, babe, we're gonna love tonight. Wake Dream is my favorite song from Lime. Okay? If you don't know Wake Dream from Lime, check it out. Because everybody knows Gold Digger and Your Love and all. There's so many of... Lime is one of those underrated bands, I think, to a certain extent. Like, they don't get enough love over time. You know what I mean? But Wake Dream, it must have been a wake dream. I know. Anyway, France Jolie, I love it. What else? Florida breaking records for the 4th day in a row. Hey, man, Dumb Santos must be proud. But he'll have an excuse about it. So, that's the best part. Let's see. Raging Dolphin Maniac says, happy Friday. Love the Kiss Destroyer mask. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I mean, if we're going to wear masks, take pride in it, man. Have some fun with it. You know what I get now all the time? Cool mask, dude. Where'd you get it? Cool mask. Where'd you get it? You know, yesterday, Bill, wasn't there a lady that walked up to us and said, cool mask, guys. Where did you get them, right? And I think I told her Amazon. Amazon. You know? That's it. Have fun with it, man. Make it part of your wardrobe. That's how. Don't make it look like a negative. Okay, let's adjust. Look, in radio, I've been in radio for 30 years, dude. I was in radio when we weren't getting emails. It was faxes. We would give a fax line. Then we got into emails. And so I adjusted to emails. And then we added text lines. And we adjusted text lines. And they added social media. And I got on that right away. Why? Because I saw where we were evolving. You know what I mean? Where we're headed. Live radio is dying. It's about podcasting now more than anything else. People don't sit and listen to terrestrial radio and listen to a half-hour commercials in an hour. In fact, they don't even listen to your commercial breaks. You know what I mean? So we have to evolve. We have to change with the times. So right now, a mask is a requirement. Dude, have fun with it. You're a girl, get a girly mask that goes with your personality. Whether you like, what is it, Boo Boo Kitty or whatever it is, or you want to wear a Beyonce mask, or you want to wear something with hearts on it, whatever. You want to wear something with your dog's face on it. You know, whatever. Take pride in it. Have some fun with it. Let's see, what else do we have? Kenneth in Cleveland is in the house. Life is a Gamble says, I can't stand the dark house, Big O. I complain and never go to my brother's house because it's dark as hell all day there. Well, no, wait. Hold on. Life is a gamble. I like the darkness to sleep. I'm not a vampire, and I want to be in darkness the entire time, okay? I don't know. Light is fine the entire time I'm up, but when I sleep, when I close the doors, I love it to be pitch dark, okay? That's just me. Let's see. Rosendo Marco is in. Good morning, everyone. Prayers to all intentions. Please be safe this weekend. Prayers to the people in the islands from the surge of Hurricane Isaias. Good job by you, Rosendo. Josh says, oh, you should play the lotto. You might get lucky. That would be nice. That would be really nice. Man, if I hit the lottery. You know, I probably would still do this show. I probably would. Not as long, but we would have a lot more fun with it, too. Because, you know, we'd have a little bit of a bigger budget. As traffic signals are implemented at a four-way stop following a fatality, the same is happening outdoor pro sports. They'll shut it down only after a player loses his career or worse, dies. Well, I hope we never get to that point. Super Boom Shack says, I get strange calls from China in my office. Okay. That's don't take them. Don't take them. That country has pissed me off in so many ways. Let's see. What else do we have here? James Roman is in the house. Tremolio is in the house. If you're near the storm, the strong side is the left. It spins counterclockwise. No, the right side of the storm is the worst side, my brother. Dougie Fresh, you have not missed much, bro. It's just our show. That nurse that gave me COVID nasal swab was wearing a Pantera face mask. She was from Iraq. Oh, she was from Iraq, too. Now, my kind of Iraq, right? Because I see Iraq. Okay. For those of you that are kind of new to the show, over the years, I've had this term, voluptuous women that have, you know, gifts here. I usually say they're from Iraq. Okay, so NorCal, who's been listening to the show for a long, long time, I don't know, NorCal, what is it, 15 plus years for you already or something like that, close to it, 12, 15 years? He knows, he's very familiar with my term that when I describe a woman that is voluptuous and has those frontal gifts, we say she's from Iraq. Let's see. JC Aleman says, back from vacation in the Keys. What's up? Well, just because you were on vacation doesn't mean you take time off from the show. Because on YouTube, you can watch us anywhere in the world, okay? So JC Aleman, you could take some time off, but not from the show, bro. That's just, that's not allowed. You can't do that kind of stuff. We need you here. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. You can always reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. Follow us there, as always, because that, my friends, is a talk show that never ends. It is 24 hours. Yesterday, I saw where John Harbaugh was asked about Antonio Brown, and I loved his answer because it was extremely smart, the way he approached it. It was the way you're supposed to actually handle all of this, right? Because remember, you've got Hollywood Brown is related to Antonio Brown, okay? Not that you're worried about anything if you reject Antonio Brown, because Hollywood Brown has to be much more mature than that. And if he's not, you got the wrong guy on your team and you can get rid of him too. But Lamar Jackson obviously has been pitching everybody in the league. He has played some with Lamar Jackson. And I hope you don't take this the wrong way. But Lamar, to me, looks like he's too nice of a kid, okay? He looks to me like he doesn't have a bad bone in his body, and he's like the kind of guy that is gullible and looks at everybody like they're really nice. And yesterday or 2 days ago, he was like, well, that guy, he wants to work hard. There's no quit in him. And I'm like, did you watch him in Pittsburgh? Did you watch him in Oakland quit on the Raiders? Basically, coming up with all kinds of excuses and stupid things and not doing his job. So to me, Lamar Jackson is it's like a young person, because that's what he is, right? When you look at your daughter, your son, whatever you have, or maybe you have them both or multiple, and they're 15, and they're 18, and they're 12, and they're 20, and they're 23, and they're 24, they still haven't lived life, and they haven't experienced everything. And then they tell you things that just have so much naivete on them, right? And to me, that's Lamar Jackson. I don't mean anything bad by it. I just think it's something that's normal. It's a rite of passage for all of us. We all have to learn that not everybody is nice. We all have to learn that we do have to have our force fields up to a certain extent on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And Lamar Jackson looks to me like he's the kid that hasn't been burned enough yet. Okay? As you get older in life, you get burned by friends, family members, jobs, situations, things in public, whatever, okay? And you live and you learn. And then as you get burned over and over again, you then learn to have the force field up even more. Like the phone call I just got. It had it from some weird-ass city. I've learned my lesson. My force field is up. I don't answer those calls. I don't know anybody in Live Oak. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. You got to live and learn.
Get you some thick skin.
Yeah. And Lamar, to me, is just the young guy that hasn't learned. So John Harbaugh yesterday asked about it, and I got to tell you, it was golden. He goes, I respect him for feeling that way. So he makes him feel good that he's, pumping up his friend who's related to his teammate, I respect his opinion on it. Again, respecting your quarterback, that you're listening to him. But then Harbaugh says of Jackson's thoughts on Browns, I definitely appreciate hearing how the workout went whenever it was. I mean, it was a long time ago now, but we will look at any and every player at all times. So Antonio Brown is no exception. Decisions will be made based on whenever they're made, and I don't think he's really available to even sign right now. So it's not really a conversation that you have until he's able to sign. That was the slam dunk. That's Jordan in the air sideways dunking. That's Dominique with the double pump. That is Zach Levine under the backboard and around. Remember that one? That was a thing of beauty, okay? That's one of those Jeff Blake bombs from back in the day, you know, that would travel 70 yards, and it was gorgeous. It was the only throw that Jeff Blake could make, okay? He wasn't a great quarterback, but, man, he can throw the bomb. It sailed beautifully over the air and it landed in whoever's hands it was at that time. You know, it was one of those things. Why? Because he goes, you know, you can't have a conversation until he's available to sign. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's something I have to ask Eric DeCosta about. So he kind of like, you know, yeah, it's nice that he feels that way, but, you know, it's not he's not even available right now. And you know how coaches are. They don't like to talk about people that are not on their teams. And they move on. And so then that right there, that puts the kibosh on it. I don't think he's, you know, we're wasting our time here. There's no need to talk about it. He's not available right now. You know, when he is, then maybe we'll talk about it. You think John Harbaugh is interested in bringing that clown over? Come on, dude. Come on. Mike Tomlin kept him in check as long as he could. Do you think John Harbaugh wants to deal with that? And then Bill Belichick could not corral him. You think he wants to deal with that? John Gruden's a clown, so that doesn't matter to me. But 2 out of the 3 coaches are respected. Yeah, I don't have a lot of respect for Gruden. Yes. I don't know if you picked up on that, but yes. Okay? So if I'm John Harbaugh, I mean, seriously, dude, why? I got a good thing going here. Why am I going to pollute my locker room with that? The guy that's gone, he may go after my owner. And by the way, the girlfriend of Kaepernick went after the owner. And this is a guy that's already gone after an owner. They have enough experiences with that. No. Okay? Anyway, it goes, I got to check with Eric DeCosta about where that stands with the league and the player, but that's where we stand on it, at least from my perspective. It was genius. It was beautiful the way he phrased it. He gave his quarterback the love and the respect for expressing his opinion. He didn't diss it whatsoever. And then he let the facts down. And the facts allowed him to walk away from the subject. Well, I believe he's available right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So let's move on. What is there to talk about? He's not available. Let's go on. I'm glad the workout went well. I'm glad the quarterback wants him. But he's not available right now, so we need to move on and focus on the guys we have here. It was genius, dude. Genius. It was just beautiful the way that and this is why he's had success, by the way. This is why John Harbaugh has success. It's not just about X's and O's. It's about knowing how to handle personalities. You watch what's going on with Adam Gase in New York. He can't handle anything right. He calls his player Osmelli, who was injured last year, a liar. And right there, you're going to lose some of your locker room because when guys see that, forget it. Jamal Adams, the best player on the team, is excommunicado. Like, yo, what are you doing, dude? What is this? Why are you kicking him out of the Continental? You can't do that. So, John Harbaugh, nice job. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, it is noon. The 1 o'clock hour will be loaded. Michelle Kaufman will join us at 1. Mike Ferlino will be joining us at 1:30. He's got a new episode out at Mike No Go Zones. Go to the YouTube website, subscribe, check it out. He actually talks to a couple of celebrities that are from Miami Gardens on his show, and he goes to places that a lot of people are told you shouldn't go, and he shows you why you should. I will have some interesting questions for him at 1:30 after watching his Miami Gardens piece. I mean, there's a guy who goes to Beirut and Syria and Baltimore, and I know he's going to head to Chicago next. So he's waiting for the pandemic to kind of subside. That would help out. Are you going to say something?
I thought he already did Chicago. I think it was Detroit.
Detroit, I'm sorry. He did Chicago.
Yeah, because I was going to say, you didn't mention the south side of
Yeah,
Chicago.
Detroit.
One of the most dangerous places in the world.
Right. Detroit is his next stop, which is also a place that a lot of people. So I would imagine that I expect to see a trip to 8 Mile, right? That's probably what's going to be. Anyway, so he'll join us at 1:30. Let's take a quick break. It's noon. Back with more right here on the Big O Show, live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
We're back. Sorry, was talking with Larry Schlossberg there. It is the final day of the month, so they are ready to make you a deal out here. So come on out and join us at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. They got some awesome deals going on right now, so make sure you take advantage. The RDX is $289, the MDX $319, the TLX $239, ILX $199, only $29.99. Do it signing plus tax tag and registration. Military veterans, $750 off. If you're graduating here, $500 off also. So come on out here, and they will take care of you at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Welcome back. Alexa says, I want that mask. Oh, you like it? You're a Kiss fan? I did not know. Alexa, so you and Josh rock out? You guys are rockers? That's pretty cool. I like it. Let's see. Bunch of nerds never put on pads, like to talk about players. That's us. There we go. Although I never put on pads at the pro level, but I did put on pads. It was just never a pro level or college level. Let's see. Describe how podcasts are now different regarding trolls, where in the past you had a dump button. Now you can troll them. Well, no, listen, we still get our trolls here. But, the good thing is we control the chat board. We just block them, and then they're gone, and we never have to deal with them again. They can watch, but they can't chat anymore because I'm not seeing it anymore, and we just eliminate them. But what's changed is you. It's not me. It's you. Now you go home and you watch Netflix. You don't turn on, hey, channel 4, 7, 10, and let me catch, I caught it in the middle. I got to watch it from here. No, dude. No, that's not how it is anymore. And so now you get in your car, and it's iTunes, and it's Pandora, and it's whatever music service, Spotify, whatever you use. And or maybe you go to satellite radio, which has no commercials to less commercials, a lot less commercials. But it's you guys. It's not me. That's what's changed. Why the podcasts now are much more popular now, because people, look, our downloads are awesome because people are listening to us whenever the hell they want. So they know that they can work and do whatever they have to do, and they go, okay, when I got time later on, I'll go and download O's show, or I just want to hear this segment or that segment, and all the stuff that Bill does every day, breaking it down. Then people love that because they're able to listen to it however they want. You know what I mean? So that's really what's changed. It's not about the trolls. You're going to have your trolls, and you can hang up on them, and you can block them, and you can always get rid of the trolls. It's not a big deal. I will tell you this. For me personally, I'd rather, in a perfect world, do live radio. Okay? Because I love the interaction, and we're going to be able to do that a lot with the new station that I'm a part of that's coming very soon here in a couple weeks. And that's going to be a lot of fun, and there's going to be a lot of interaction. But I will say that I've loved the way we've developed this thing here, okay? And while the chat board doesn't have a ton of people, like right now it's 57, it's a really good group of individuals that care about the show, support the show. They want to talk sports, clown around, and talk about whatever. And to me, what I love is that I know that the people that are downloading, they care about the show. Because if you're listening to me in Portugal or in Malaysia or in Canada or in Mexico, or if you're listening to me in Broward County at 2 a.m. because that's when you're available, or at 7 a.m, God bless you, man. That means I know you really care about the show. You know what I mean? In radio, you really can't tell because they're just channel surfing, and they run into you for a couple minutes and then they're gone. You know what I mean? When somebody hits that podcast, there's no channel surfing. They're locked into you. When somebody comes on here, they're locked into you, man. Because there's no channel surfing here on YouTube. You either are with us or you're gone. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing that I will say that I love about this part of it is that we've connected a lot with the people that follow, that listen, that watch, that text, that tweet, that email, all of that stuff. And to me, that's the part that's priceless, because I am about connecting with the audience. You know what I mean? It's fun for me. But what's going on now, there's more separation between the host and the audience now, because podcasting doesn't allow you to. Remember, we're not your traditional podcast either, that it's all pre-recorded behind the scenes, it's all pre-produced and all that, and then put out there for you. They clean it up and all that. We don't do that. We do the show live, and then we cut it up, and that's it. We don't have to, falsify anything, enhance anything, edit out it. No, it is what it is, and then we just chop up pieces from the show. So that way you guys get us raw, one way or the other, recorded or live. You know what I mean? Now, most people that do podcasts, they don't have the balls to do this live because they're so used to, oh, you know what? I didn't like that. Let's redo this. And when you're behind the scenes, you can do that. And here every day, it's on one take. It is what it is, and you're going to get us the way it comes. And if we have technical difficulties, if we make mistakes, which I make tons of them every day, it is what it is. That's how it's going to go.
When we get inundated by ohos like we did for those couple of weeks,
there you go.
It's part of the show.
That's right. James Roman says, I love Big O community. Left Miami 10 years ago, and this makes me feel back home. Thank you. That is very nice. Bro, you should hear how Hockman gets pissed off when Solana and Donald talk. Inter Miami football. Hawk hates I don't know. Look, Hawk's a good dude, bro. He's not really a hardcore sports guy. You know what I mean? He's there to screw around and clown. Like, I love Hawk. I got no problem. He's a great dude and all that. I don't listen to Hockman for sports. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's just, he's off to goofiness and clowning around and coming up with silly scenarios and things like that. I don't really listen to Hockman and Crowder for sports because it's not really a sports show. It has some sports elements in it, but it's very little sports talk. It's a lot of buffoonery, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's very popular nowadays, okay? That's what people want. They want goofiness. They want all that kind of stuff. They love that. So their show is popular because of that, okay? But when it comes to, like, sports and insight on sports, I'm not going to go to Hockman for that. He's never going to teach me anything. I forgot more about sports than he'll ever know. You know what I mean? And I love the guy. Great guy. But I'm sure he's the first guy to tell you the show is not. You're not there to really. If you're a hardcore sports fan, that's not the show for you. Okay? Now, if you want to clown around, goof off, have some fun, laugh a little, that's what you'll do with them. There you go. You know what I mean? So the fact that he's not into soccer, I'm not surprised because he's kind of part of that, what I've dealt with for 30 years. Okay? When I was at Q. Look, man, in 30 years, I had to fight 25, 30 years ago with program directors about fantasy football and telling them how big it was going to be. Okay? The same thing I've been doing with soccer for years. Now, soccer's taken a lot longer than fantasy football because fantasy football is about American football. And there's nothing bigger in this country than American football. Okay? But I kept telling people, soccer's coming, soccer's coming, soccer's coming. And so it's here now. Now, it's still not mainstream yet. But they're on their way to completing 30 teams in the next couple of years. They're at, 26, 27, I think? 26. I think they had 27 next year and then 3 more teams after that. And so you know that they're obviously having a ton of success now. And the sport is growing. It just is what it is. But I don't expect people like Hawk and people, his age, my age, to be that much into soccer because they've grown with that anti-soccer, attitude. You know what I mean? So it is. I'm not surprised, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. And now, and listen, the good thing is that what we're coming up with is something that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else in the country, pretty much. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun. But those guys do a good job, man. But it's not really a sports show. You know what I mean? Let's see. Super Boom Shack. He drops another enormous super chat. Thank you, my brother. You are amazing, Super Boom Shack. He says, I want to send a shout out to my daughter, Sarah. She graduated from her high school diploma and associate's degree recently. Happy Friday, everybody. Wow, that is absolutely awesome, dude. Awesome. Congratulations, Sarah and Super Boom Shack. I know you're proud, man, because I've gone through that feeling myself with my daughter, and for, to watch your kids grow up and actually, hit the books and produce in school is a major accomplishment for any parent, okay? So Super Boom Shack, awesome to you and Sarah, man. Congratulations, my brother. Appreciate it. Maybe you should be giving her the super chat, not me. By the way, but nice job by you, Super Boom Shack, for the super chat. Thank you, sir, and congratulations to Sarah. That's awesome. That's good stuff there. And others are congratulating, which is a good thing. Big O working his virtual teaching. That's me, baby. That's me. A lot of congrats to Super Boom Shack. I love it. I love it. See, that's the community we have here. I love it. James says, love Hawk and Crowder because they are goofballs, but I come here for real Miami sports talk. Exactly. Those guys do a great job at having some fun. That's whenever I tune into them, that's what I'm expecting. I'm not really expecting any kind of sports talk and an angle that I haven't heard, or some kind of opinion that actually changes my mind on something and enlightens me. That's just not what it is, because it's not what they do. It's not a strength of theirs. You know what I mean? So it's not something you stick to your strength, and that their strength is having some fun on the air, and they do a really good job with that. Let's see. A lot of congrats continue. I love it for Super Boom. Love it. There we go. Congrats to Sarah from Ronald there. Boom, great job on parenting. Oh, since you always talk about your daughter, what's her name? Her name is Caitlin. That's her name. Great kid. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show, of course. Follow us there as always, because that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. We've got some action tomorrow. It's almost like there's a part of me that can't wait for 1 o'clock tomorrow, right? I mean, we got back-to-back games. The Heat, 1 o'clock. Over and under is 211. The Nuggets are favored by 1.5. The Nuggets are also favored by minus 125. The difference in tomorrow in the afternoon, I'm not going to lie to you guys. You know me, I'm brutally honest here, right? I'm going to sit at 1 o'clock and I'm going to look at a team with hope for the future. I don't think they're going to do much this year, not more than maybe get through a first round in the playoffs. I think that's their max. You know, maybe they could shock me and get to a second round. That would be amazing. But what I love is that I think this is a young group now that's going to get the playoff experience that they can build on. You know what I mean? And I know they have the front office that they're going to try to get another big-time player in here to help out and kind of raise the level of play for everybody. And at the same time, Bam hopefully grows too. Tyler grows. Duncan grows. Kendrick Nunn grows. All these kind of guys, grow. So I'm looking forward to all of those things to develop, right? And that's why tomorrow I can't wait for 1 o'clock. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch the Heat. And I know they're young, And I still don't think they're very good defensively yet, and they're not consistent enough. And they're still green, but there's hope there. Then 4 o'clock is going to roll around, and the Panthers and the Islanders are going to take the ice, and I'm not going to have any confidence. I'm not going to have any kind of feeling that this is headed in the right direction. And I'm going to hate that part. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go in with a lot of positivity, a lot of good feelings for the Heat, okay? Because I feel like there's a future. With the Panthers, I feel like there's no future. I feel like it doesn't matter what they do, they're going to be the same team because Dale Talon can only draft the certain player. There are no dogs. He does not draft badasses. He does not draft people that take over games. He doesn't draft toughness. None of that. And so Quenneville can bitch and complain all he wants and scream at guys and or talk them up and tell me that they had some of their best practices that they've had all season long, and I watch them come out and lose 5-0. That's going to be the way. Any of you out there feel the same way? That, like, the first game, like, there's a lot of hope and you feel like you're building something, and meanwhile, the other one, it's like, same old, same old. And I'm gonna watch it because I love the Panthers. And I hope I'm wrong, man. Oh, I wish I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong. Okay? To me, that would be the best thing in the world to be wrong, because then that means that there actually is a future. That maybe they can build on something. They can be tough. They can be clutch. You know what I mean? I don't know how you guys feel about that, but those are my feelings going into tomorrow. Can't wait for 1 o'clock, terrified about 4 o'clock. I'm more afraid of Islanders Panthers than I am of Isais. Scary.
Huh?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You know who you're making really happy?
Who's that?
Guy that'll be here at 1:30.
Why, he's an Islanders fan?
Of course.
Oh, I forgot about that. Wow.
You know that before we got ours, my adopted was the Islander, because we were able to watch the games on WR back in the day.
Right.
And, of course, they 4 Stanley Cups.
Right.
Which everybody's forgotten about because, of course, Edmonton came right behind them, did the same thing. They kind of, oh, really? They did that? Oh.
Oh, man. Myron Sanchez chiming in with his second super chat. Myron, you are amazing, my brother. You are absolutely amazing, and this is waiting for you. He says, for all these years to build this chat room family, it was well worth all your experience to get to this moment. Thank you. Well, Bill, now I can get to know you because of this hard work. There you go. And he will soon, because he'll be by here to pick up his YouTube wristband.
Take it out of the plastic.
No, man, no.
It's reflecting, my brother.
No, I don't. Oh, really?
Wait a minute. The angle. Tilt it. There you go. Perfect.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I don't want to take it out because
you don't want. No.
I may have COVID, and I
you may
wanna,
have. Even if you don't have COVID, bro, you do have cooties. Okay.
That is 2. I got to stash it where I know it's not going to get ruined there in the bag. Anyway, so take care of it for you, Myron. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you, Myron. Appreciate you sending in another super chat. You are an absolute stud. I it's really fun doing the show every day and having the chat board, being able to communicate with people. I think it's pretty cool, man. I like it. That's why, for me, let me tell you something. That draft, missing the draft in Vegas, that killed me, man. That killed me because I was looking forward to it. The show was just, and these last few months, our downloads have been amazing, even though there's no sports. But it was building nasty that I think for that moment would have been so much fun to then have that crescendo with all the Dolphin fans all weekend. It was going to be a lot of fun.
It's amazing you're mentioning it because I'm sitting here thinking, and it's like the thing that sucks is we would have had some opportunities to hang out,
Right.
and with everybody,
Yeah.
all of us together.
Yep.
And and some killer experiences.
I know.
Vegas, all of us, that would have been what?
A lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. So, unfortunately, now we've got to create another type of Vegas in Cleveland for next year is what we're going to have to do. Hopefully, we can control this damn virus for next year. That would be really, really nice. Let's do this. We do want to remind you that Moody S Dental is a proud sponsor, folks. You want a dentist you can trust, an office that is spotless, state-of-the-art equipment, family-owned, great atmosphere, great people. Go see Eric Moody S at Moody S Dental, 305-821-0231, and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I don't care if you need a filling, a cavity, teeth clean, Invisalign, implants. They are experts when it comes to implants and Invisaligns. Call Eric Moody S, 305-821-0231. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Moody S Dental, and go to the website, moodysdental.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we're back. We take you, of course, till about 2. If you want to get in on the program, it's really simple. You can get in on the text line at 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. A little stuff here in music. Zach Brown. In 1978, on this date, the American singer-guitarist was born, and he is celebrating a birthday, a couple of other things, and music-wise, to give you guys a little insight on some of the music stuff, since you all know we love talking our share of music. Did you see the story with Nicki Minaj? So Nicki Minaj is pregnant, okay? Her husband is Kenneth Perry. So Kenneth Perry had to submit legal documents, okay, begging a judge to modify the terms of his pretrial release conditions so he can travel with Nicki periodically on business as her manager and attend the upcoming birth of their baby. As you know, Kenneth was recently registered as a sex offender in California after getting arrested for allegedly failing to do so when he moved to the state with Nikki. Some of the terms of the pretrial release: he has a curfew and his travel is restricted to California. According to the docs, Kenneth wants the judge to tweak his release conditions so he can be with Nikki by her side when she gives birth outside of his curfew hours. Kenneth's status as a sex offender stems from a 95 New York conviction for first-degree attempted rape. Petty pleaded not guilty to failing to register as a sex offender, and a judge recently gave him permission to surf the web. That's what you're marrying. It's just like, yeah, Nikki, yeah, not very smart. Judge, can you give me some freedom so I can see my daughter being born? Think about that. Think about how screwed up that is right there. You got to ask permission for a judge so you can actually watch your daughter be born. That, my friends, is classic. I don't know if anybody has, I don't know if I've ever seen that story right there. At least for a celebrity having to deal with that. That right there trips you out. All right. On this date, let's give you a little bit of music history. On this date in 76, Blue Oyster Cult released her hit single, Don't Fear the Reaper. In 1980, during an Eagles concert at Long Beach, California, tempers boiled over between Glenn Frey and Don Felder, who spent the entire show describing to each other the beating each planned to administer backstage. Now, if you actually want to see that video and those scenes, you must watch the Eagles documentary, okay? It's the greatest rockumentary ever. So the history of the Eagles, I believe it's called. It's a long one. It's like 3 hours, like 2 hours and 45 minutes, something like that, 3 hours. And it'll go by in a half hour. It is so compelling. It is so in-depth. It has so much information. And it has so many videos and pictures dating back from the late 60s all the way through their existence that it will blow you away the amount of actual film they have of their history. Okay? And that's why it makes it so good. And that fight and Don Felder running away from Glenn Frey after the show, go check it out. Okay? All right? And be ready for some nudity also. Of all kinds. In 2012 on this date, Bruce Springsteen played his longest show ever. It took place in Helsinki, Finland. At the end of the European tour, it lasted 4 hours and 6 minutes. Bruce, baby. Bruce. In 71 on this date, James Taylor had the #1 song in the country with You've Got a Friend. There you go. Those are some of the things that happen in the world of music on this date. Let me give you a couple of other things here. If you want to enjoy a couple of live streams this weekend, first of all, at 6 o'clock, Lollapalooza is having a virtual edition. They will have some past shows from Metallica, The Cure, Lupe Fiasco. Yeah, baby. If you are what you say you are, a superstar, and have no fear, the camera's here and the microphone. All right, so you got that. Chance the Rapper, Chuck D, also is going to do a performance, so you can check it out at 6 o'clock. Stone Temple Pilots. This is pretty cool, Bill. Tonight at 8 o'clock on nugs.tv, Stone Temple is going to perform the Core album in its entirety. Now, remember, Scott Weiland is dead, okay? Jeff Gutt is their new singer. He does a nice job, by the way, okay? Nobody's Scott Weiland. He doesn't sound exactly like Scott Weiland. He's not It's not Arnel Pineda that you're like, wow, that sounds a lot like Steve. Wow, sometimes I can't tell it's not Steve Perry. You know, that kind of thing you do with Arnel Pineda, you're not going to do with Jeff Gutt, but he does a nice job. So if you love that album Core, which is a great album, and you want to see it from beginning to end, I believe 2 of the 4 members are originals. They just lost one of the 3 originals. I think it's the bassist that left, if I'm correct, but I think the guitarist and the drummer are still the originals, and obviously Scott is no longer with us. But if you want to catch them perform the entire album of Core, then you can check that out. I think it's pretty cool. If you're a Grateful Dead fan, okay, Grateful Dead at 8 o'clock tonight on YouTube, on their Shakedown series, they also will give you one of their past concerts. So if you're a Deadhead, 8 o'clock tonight, YouTube, check it out. Also, I thought this was pretty cool. Members from the Cars and Blondie got together again. They've got a new song out called "Well, Look at You," and it's a lot of 60s, early 70s influence type of music, classic rock, but it has kind of that it has a little bit of that psychedelic influence in it, but it's more poppy than anything else. And it'll remind you a lot of 60s and early 70s music. And it sounds good, by the way. But just to kind of give you a little feature of it, it's The Empty Hearts, which is a collaboration of Elliot Easton of the Cars and Blondie drummer Clem Burke. They're releasing their second album on August 28th, and a new single, "Well, Look at You," is out already. It says, I have a bit odd story about the song, says Andy Babick, the bassist who spent 30 years in the Chesterfield Kings, tells Ultimate Classic Rock, it came to me in a dream. I was backstage at a Rolling Stones show talking to Mick Jagger, and he said, I've got this song that I think would be good for the Empty Hearts. And he sang it to me, and I woke up and I hummed it on my iPhone and went back to bed. This one has a classic Southern soul, like a song with a great backup with Memphis horns. Easton notes, kind of like a Booker T and MG's Stack Vault kind of feel, and at least that's what we're going for. It's a bit of a departure from the sound of the band featuring New York City's Uptown Horns, Burke adds, as their 2014 debut. The second album is a throwback to the band's 60s psychedelic garage rock influences. So check it out, man. I liked it, actually. I listened to the song, Well, Look at You. I'm going to buy the album when it comes out now. I'm going to check it out. Because, I've always liked Clem Burke. I've always loved the energy he comes with the drums and I thought I think Blondie's band is super underrated. Nobody gives them enough credit for how versatile those people were and all the types of music that they could come up with and the sounds that they created. You know what I'm saying? For different songs. I am a huge Blondie fan, not just for her, because I know she had that great voice. She's so freaking talented, but her band, her band and Missing Persons band are two bands that I don't believe those musicians get enough credit for what they are. I always say Edge never gets enough credit for his greatness in the guitar. And it's not because he's Eddie Van Halen and Yngwie Malmsteen flying through the frets and all that. It's the creativeness behind his guitar, the sounds that Edge gets that nobody else in the world gets from his guitar. And you got to just listen to the music, and then you'll find out. I mean, I don't need to add his singing, because he might be the greatest backup singer in a band in history. Seriously. I don't know if there's a lot of guys that are better than that guy as the number 2 guy in a band, that as a backup, not a lead singer but the supporting, what he does with the harmonies and everything. He is just an amazing talent. And there are different people like that over the years that I've run into, and I listen to them enough, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here, man? Like, Blondie's band doesn't get enough love. Like, Missing Persons band Cucurullo on guitar, and what's it called, Bosio on drums. It just, to me, it's one of those things. And Clem, I'm a big Clem fan, and so nice to see him, with another band there and rocking out, because I know he's got sick passion for playing music. I love it. Jesse in Minneapolis has chimed in with a little super chat. Thank you, Jesse. Says, speaking of Vegas, I am legally blind and was due to fly in alone. Cool-ass NorCal offered to look after my arrival at T-Rockers. Well wishes, man. Wow, I did not know that. Yeah, well, Jesse, you can count on us, man. For the next trip, we'll be there for you, my brother. All right? I'll pick you up, man. Okay? I'll pick you up if we have to do that. All right? Not a problem. Me, Bill, doesn't matter, NorCal, we'll pick you up, man.
We'll get her done.
Yeah, one way or another. We're family. So appreciate you, man. That's amazing. Thank you for sending in the super chat. Ramona K says, Big O, I heard Xavier, a.k.a. X, is on the PUP list. How does this affect the Dolphins now and going forward to be able to play with Byron Jones and the CB duo? Ramona, I addressed that 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Go back into the podcast. Go sign up to it on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Big O Radio Show. Find it there, and I talked about it. There are some concerns, but I talked about all the angles. I can't do it again because this is not a regular radio where you repeat things over and over again. So I did address it, but I addressed it when it happened a couple days ago. Please go back.
July 29th, segment number 3.
There you go, bro. That's why he produces. July 29th, segment 3. So all you do is scroll down to July 29th. It's the third segment. And, Bill does it all, man. So you got it right there. Good stuff. Big O, I think Clem Burke and the late, great Neil Peart as the two best drummers in recent times. Wow. That's strong. At least you with me, you give Clem Burke a lot of respect. And I'm one of those guys, dude. I love Clem Burke. I think he's fantastic. Jessic, the offer stands. If you're in my presence, I got your back. Stay well. JK Minneapolis. There you go. That's how family reacts, brother. Let's see. What else do we have here? Feeling that Big O community love. That's what James says. Damn right. Dougie Fresh. Oh, are you going to commodify the show with any Big O merchandise? Yes, we are actually, now that you brought it up, even though the pandemic is still going on, I called my guy now, and we are going to start trying to put some merch together, shirts and hats. So we're going to get that going very soon. So, yes, we're working on that ASAP, okay? So we will get that done. I promise you we were going to get that done shortly, and we'll put it on the website at BigORadioshow.com. We'll then eventually get the link and put it on social media, and maybe we'll even throw the link here on YouTube so you guys can check it out. But we definitely will get merch because, I got those first round of shirts, and then the pandemic hit, and it just set everything back. But now there are more businesses and things in place that I think we can kind of do this now, and we're going to get back on track. All right? I promise you that. We'll get it done. Hoodies, too? Okay, I will create a hoodie. Make them oversized. Okay, well, we'll go from small to medium and extra large, extra large, double X, and triple X. So we'll go all the way through so people can get them tight or as big as they want. So, yes, we'll definitely do that. You know what the Bible says? A joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Never heard of that, but that makes a lot of sense. Big O, is there going to be a big old dolphin shirt? Would really be cool. Yes, we'll have an aqua and orange type of shirt. We'll have a Heat-related one. We'll have an Inter-Miami-related one. We'll have a Panthers-related one. Marlins, yes. We'll give you the options to to pick the different ones. Yes, I'm a hometown guy, so we got to have that hometown feel for a lot of the stuff. Actually, Phil Collins and Adam Levine are also pretty badass drummers too. Okay, I love that. There's no doubt Phil Collins is, or used to be, a great, great, great drummer. Now, physically, he can't do it anymore, unfortunately. What's really cool is watching Phil perform in his Sun drum. I like that. That's cool. It's nice. That's a nice thing to see when you're able to have that combination. What else do we have? And Myron goes, I got my big O shirt. I'm lucky. Yeah, you were one of the ones that won when we gave them out. You are correct, sir. You are correct. What do we have here on the program also that I wanted to talk about here on the show? Let's see. 786, by the way, 322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. I want to see if there's anything new on the baseball front because we had the Cardinals and Brewers game postponed due to 2 positive COVID tests now. Now they're giving us the numbers. So there are 2. Okay? And the Marlins are going to be shipped back home on a bus from Philadelphia. 18 members of the Marlins traveling party infected by COVID-19 are in a hotel in Philly. They live in Miami. You can't fly if you're infected, but the mini bar bill is getting pretty big, so everyone misses their wives and kids, so you got to get them home. What do? News out of Philadelphia, the Marlins have been holed up for over a week. Team is getting sleeper buses to take the infected players' personnel back to Miami. Rest will stay, then head to Baltimore, New York, and Buffalo for what will be a really long road trip. An 18-hour drive now. So the boys will have to get bussed now. How about that? The Marlins are finally getting shipped out of Philly. Like I told you, when they got tested positive, it's like, wow, now you got to be stuck in a hotel in Philly for 2 weeks? Come on, dude. That's terrible. So a week in, they're like, get us out of here. I don't blame them, dude. I don't blame them. I would want to get the hell out. Wow, so that's it. 18-hour bus drive. Look, it says they're going to be able to like rest and sleep in the bus. You know, so it's not the end of the world. You're still going to get pampered. Okay. All right. But there you go. The Marlins are going to get bussed back to Miami. I wonder if the bus outside will say, COVID-19 bus, stay away. We have COVID, stay away. Now, I would imagine that same bus has to have a bathroom, right? Because you can only stop to put gas and get back on the bus and leave. You've got to have food there, right? Because somebody that's riding with that bus. Now, wait a minute. Is a bus driver volunteering to go on that bus? Or is one of the 18 people driving that bus since they're infected? Because the person that then drives that bus has to then get quarantined because you're in a bus full of people with COVID. And as you can tell with the Browns punter, that guy's been COVID for a month already. He can't get rid of it because the 14-day quarantine doesn't always work, ladies and gentlemen.
Hazmat pay for the bus driver.
Seriously. Or one of the 18 is driving the bus, right? That's what it has to be.
You can't let sick people behind the wheel for 18 hours, bro.
Okay, so then, dude, is somebody volunteering to catch COVID?
I'm going to guess, and like I said, man, hazmat pay.
You got to, how much are you taking? How much are you asking for? Okay, people on the chat right now or on email or on the text line 786-322-1105. How much do they have to pay you to drive the Marlins from Philadelphia to Miami? It's COVID filled. Yeah, you get to put on a mask or whatever it is, but still, you're breathing for 19 hours, everything there exhaling.
you set up something like the gauntlet, but instead of the, steel shields, you put up a big like in this section of the bus is for you COVID people. I'm in the front. Even put a bus that's got the door in the back. They all get in and back there, and the driver's just up front. Separate chamber.
They have to have their own bathroom. They can't get off the bus to go into a gas station or a truck stop because they're infected. The person driving the bus can't get off and go buy them anything because now they could be carriers too because they're in a bus that's infected. The only thing the bus driver can do is stop to put gas, and you better put on gloves and all that because if not, you're going to leave COVID on the gas pump. I mean, there's some disturbing things now that I'm thinking about this whole trip to
as they're traveling
Philadelphia
down
and Miami.
Troopers will meet them at the state line. You know what I mean? And escort them through the state, kind of.
Oh, they're polluted.
That way
they're polluted. They belong in this state.
No, but you see that they know what they're doing, what they're up to. You look, no. We got a group of whoever people that are going to come. They know you're coming. We'll distribute the food to you on the bus. Yep. Like you guys just stay where you're at, and at each state line, the troopers will meet them and escort them through the state to the next state.
Okay, I like it. Oh, Alexa says create some big old masks. Ooh, maybe we should do that. That'll be cool.
Well, they're definitely going to get,
Yeah, they'll get sold.
Yeah, this thing is going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
We're going to need, if you travel in the future, you're masked up.
That's what I'm saying, that these things are going to be permanent now, that you're going to be able to use them whenever you want now. Like, I'm going to always have them on. And I told you already, forget about it. Every airport I'm ever going to from now on, I'm always going to be masked up. Even after the virus is done and all that, I'm going to be masked up, dude. Every airport. I mean, I sleep that way on the planes anyways. I cover my mouth. I take my own blanket on every plane because I cover my mouth. Because I don't want to fall asleep with my mouth open and then I'm breathing everything that everybody else is. And now with all of this, forget about it, bro. I mean, we all have to be a little bit more Howie Mandel here. But think about this. And who was it? Was it Pat in Nashville? You have to have a commercial license to drive those buses. He's right about that. I forgot. Oh, yeah. So then that means somebody has to volunteer and risk getting COVID. Because, come on, dude. You're going to tell me you're going to be in a bus with 19 people that are infected and you're not going to get infected? Get the hell out of here.
Like I said, they're going to have to make some special stuff.
It's not going to happen.
To implement, You
can't.
I'm just saying.
How do you control the AC in the damn thing?
That's what I'm saying. You have AC, like you totally have to, like, make a special bus.
I don't know if that even exists. They can't do that overnight. They're just doing it now.
Well, hey, they have billions of dollars. You could get stuff done when you have money.
No, I get you, but
okay,
yeah,
come on,
yeah.
You know what we need to do? It's time for some football with Michelle Kaufman.
Yeah, let's do that. NorCal says I'll drive the bus wearing Tunsil's mask and a pair of Depends just in case. $1,000 an hour.
Well, he wants to be like that woman astronaut, wearing Depends driving down the highway.
Alexa goes, my skin would crawl. They can't pay me enough. It's too risky. Well, you guys are talking about the dead Kennedys. Wow, I haven't heard that one. Man, masks are the latest fashion accessory. Damn right. I'd wear a mask and a face shield and some gloves. Michelle Kaufman, we talk a little Inter Miami football next.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opa-locka, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we're ready to rock and roll. Yes, sir. We love talking some football, and Michelle Kaufman does an excellent job of covering Inter Miami football every single day for the Miami Herald. You can follow her on Twitter at Kauf Sports, and make sure you catch her exceptional work at your doorstep or at herald.com. Make sure you subscribe like I do and support local coverage, folks. Michelle, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I cannot
Hanging in there.
Good, good. That is excellent. Well, we are awaiting. I guess rumors are again swirling with Inter Miami. What's the latest on possibly adding another player, an international spot?
Well, I think your listeners will have to click onto my story in about 15 minutes, which I'm about to file. Yeah, I mean, there's rumors. There have been rumors for quite some time about Willian. You know, well, there several names have come up. Of course, Luis Suarez has been swirling around for years now. Cavani has been swirling around. Falcao was swirling around. I mean, there have been so many names. Hamas. But the latest one, and the one that I'm writing about, is Willian, the Brazilian player who plays on Chelsea. And they, apparently, according to even, I do have someone from the team who confirmed that they had been in talks. The team has been in talks with him. Supposedly, Inter Miami, Barcelona, Chelsea, and Arsenal are, all in deep conversations with him. Now, that's some pretty steep competition. So I understand from what I'm reading from the British press, Inter Miami has offered a very, very lucrative deal. He wants a minimum of 3 years, and they would offer that. They also apparently are offering a lot of money, but the question is, does he want to come here? Because he has stated that he would prefer to stay in Europe for a few more years. He's 31. He would prefer to stay in Europe and then would consider coming to MLS sometime after that. So I do think that Inter Miami is doing everything it can. It is trying to negotiate with those type of big name players that everybody wants, but it's not that easy. I have a lot of fans just say, why don't they sign this guy, or why can't they sign that guy? But when they enter the negotiating, and the other teams are Barcelona and Chelsea and Arsenal, that's really tough to tell that guy come here to play in MLS, in a season that's suspended right now and is probably going to resume in August, but they're not sure. And, so it's tough. I mean, it's a tough sell.
And tell us a little bit about him. How old is he? How many goals has he scored?
He's 31 years old. He's been with the club for, I think, 7 years. He's on the Brazilian national team. He's a winger. attacking midfielder type player, which is what they're looking for. Paul McDonough had said, and has said even in recent weeks, that they are trying to add 2 attacking players. I mean, they really would like a forward, a center forward who can score, and they would like, a winger, an attacking midfielder who could work with the forward. I mean, right now they have Pizarro, and he's a very good player. It's very clear every time he's on the field, he's a little bit a notch above everybody else, and he's a designated player. He's the highest paid player on the team, but he doesn't have too much help. The guys up there with him are young and developing players. They're not established scorers who have played in the highest leagues and have a lot of experience. They're young guys like, Matias Pellegrini and Lewis Morgan. And, these are good, young, developing players, but they're not experienced players who have a lot of goals under their belt. So they're looking for somebody with experience who is a proven scorer and who's also going to excite the fan base. So, this guy would definitely check all those boxes. The question is, would he turn down Barcelona and his current club, Chelsea or Arsenal, to come to MLS? It would have to be that he really just wants to come to live in the United States and really wants to come live in Miami. Because, he had stated before that he prefers to stay in Europe for a few more years.
So what's your gut tell you?
I have no idea. Nobody knows. I mean, nobody knows. Anyone who thinks they know. The only people who know are him and his agent. These agents, they use one team against the other. They pit one team against another. I mean, I've been covering sports 33 years, and it's a dirty business. Teams get used and abused by agents who, they want to get a big money deal from wherever they are or from some team that they have in mind. And another team is interested, so they milk and milk and milk that other team, and they make a huge offer. Then the other team that they really wanted to go to puts in the money, and they go there. And, that happens every day, all the time. And I think with MLS, it probably happens a lot because these teams here are trying. Paul McDonough has been working, for over a year to try to get that level of a player to sign with this team. And, he's not about names. I mean, Paul McDonough is not about impressing anybody with names. He's on the contrary. He made a reputation in Atlanta for bringing in guys that were young South Americans that people had not really heard of, and they became very good players in MLS and then were sold to Europe. But in this case, it's Miami. The fans here were promised by the ownership, some big name. And so he's been really trying to get someone that he feels is still hungry and wants to play and, isn't just coming here to retire. But at the same time, somebody that would excite the fans and that would fulfill the promise of Jorge Mas and David Beckham, who spoke very large for years about how, oh my God, all these players are ringing off the hook. Everybody wants to play here and this and that, and they're going to get a player with Champions League experience and EPL experience, La Liga experience, and so far that hasn't happened. So, I think that they would like to get a player of that caliber, but it's very difficult. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
How much has the COVID situation helped or hurt? I don't know about help because they haven't gotten the guy yet. So, has it hurt the situation?
I don't know. I mean, COVID has affected many leagues in many ways financially. I know that the player that they got that I wrote a big story on yesterday, Leandro Gonzalez Perez, he had gone to Mexico, and then in Mexico they came up with this new rule that they only were allowed to have X number of foreign players per team, and some of the teams were hurting financially because of COVID. And so Inter Miami was able to swoop in and get him back in MLS, and that seems to be like it was a very good signing. He hasn't played yet because he was not eligible to play in the MLS's back tournament, but he trained with the team, and he's supposed to be a really, really good player. He played with Atlanta and was one of the cornerstones of that team. So he's also a leader. I can already tell just from one conversation with him. He's definitely a locker room leader type guy. So I think that was a good signing that they got, partly because of some new things involving COVID with the Mexican League. As far as Europe, I don't know. I mean, all the teams have lost money. Everybody's losing money this year. But the European leagues are starting up way ahead of here. You know, they're already talking about fans. The French league is going to start with 5,000 fans per game. The Bundesliga is talking about full stadiums starting on the 1st of September. So it seems like because COVID was about 4 months ahead of us, it could really hurt here because COVID over there is about 4 months ahead of where we are here. And so if the teams in Europe are already going to be playing in stadiums with fans and concessions and whatever, those teams are going to be making more money that they can spend on contracts than an MLS team who doesn't even know what it's going to do, 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, but Michelle,
I think all of that uncertainty definitely cannot help at the negotiating table.
They're not 4 months ahead of us. They're intelligence ahead of us. That's why they've brought that thing down, and now they can go back to starting to live their lives. We're idiots. We keep going.
Yeah, well, they're having outbreaks there. They are having outbreaks there.
But not like us.
Right. Well,
we're out of
French
control.
beaches are very, very full, which has led to some outbreaks in Spain. If you look at, there are pictures of the French Riviera and Spanish beaches that are wall-to-wall people in the French and Spanish beaches right now. So they are having some spikes over there. Now, what happened over there is that every country, the countries there are much smaller, so every country had a national plan. Over here, we have 50 states, and all the different states were doing their own thing. And so, at the beginning, the outbreaks were in the Northeast, and now the outbreaks are in Florida, Texas, California, and Arizona. But, I think the difference is really just governmental. This is a very huge country with 220 million people, and the European countries are much smaller for the most part, and they had national plans, each individual country, which is like a state here. So there are countries that did very, very well in Europe. There are countries that didn't do so well. Per capita, there are countries there that did horrible.
Right, but example, Spain had 2,700 cases and only 2 dead. Italy, 382 cases, only 3 dead. That's the thing. Germany, 842 cases, only 9.
Are you talking about today? Like this
I'm talking about yesterday. I'm talking about yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday. And we're at 68,500 and something cases and 1,465 dead. They were smart. They locked down. They stayed with it for a lot longer than we did. And so now they're able to kind of get back to life. Whereas we did not show enough patience. We opened back up again. And now that's why we're as bad. It's us in Brazil every day. Because I know I track these numbers every day. And it's us too that are leading. And India also is the other one that's in third place. But again, Europe that's why they're ahead of us. That's why
remember that Brazil, but also look at per capita, not just total numbers, because Brazil, India, and the United States are huge countries with huge populations. Far bigger than most of the countries in Europe.
No, I know, but Florida's way worse than Germany. I mean, come on. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Florida's way worse than Spain. You know what I'm saying? Texas had 313 people die yesterday. Texas is worse than most of these European countries. They have done a much better job. They've been smarter. So now this leads me to this other question, because I have no faith in college football. I have no faith in the NFL. I have no faith in baseball. I was laughing when people said, well, all these tests were clear after the Marlins, the rest of the league, and now here we get with the Cardinals and the Brewers test positive, and more is going to come. What is the MLS going to do if they're watching this? Can't they go back to the negotiating table and say, guys, we need to stay in the bubble. This is how we're going to have the rest of our season, because I am terrified that once the MLS leaves the bubble, they are going to have worse. They're going to be worse than baseball because they have legitimate contact in their sport, just like football. Football is obviously the worst, but soccer has tons of contact. And once these guys leave the bubble, I am terrified for this sport. What are you hearing?
Well, I just think, if you take the Marlins out of the equation, there's been one positive in the entire league of Major League Baseball. So
No,
you know,
they just
I
got
think,
they just got 2
I
right
know,
now
but
with
I'm
the
just
Cardinals
saying
and the-
numbers-wise. I'm saying Orlando numbers-wise. There are going to be cases. This is, you know, it's not going to be zero. Anybody who just thinks that there's going to be 0 cases at some point and then there's going to be a switch that we're going to flip, you know, oh, okay, there's 0 cases now. Everybody go back to normal. Kids, everybody can be in school and football players can play and basketball players can play and soccer and we can have concerts again and we can have things. I mean, there is not going to be a magic date. This is, you know, this is a virus that's here. It's going to be here for a while. There are going to be cases. All of these athletes that are getting it, not a single one is going to a hospital. The vast majority of them are asymptomatic. You know, the problem is, yes, they spread it. They can spread it to somebody who is vulnerable.
Exactly.
But as far as danger to the actual athletes on the Marlins or football team or whatever, the vast majority of these guys don't even know they have it. They went, maybe they went and a couple of them left the hotel in Atlanta. That's one of the rumors with the Marlins. Maybe they went to a bar. They infect the other guys on the team. They quarantine for 2 weeks, and then they're back out on the field. It's not like everyone is going to be dropping dead like it's the bubonic plague if somebody on a sports team gets infected. People are going to get infected. We have to sort of accept that we have to live with this virus for a while. Otherwise, they just need to shut down everything. Just shut down every sport, shut down every school, shut down every business, and we all just stay in our house. And, you know, nobody will infect each other because no one will be next to each other. But that's not really reasonable at this point. Some opening up is going to happen, and there are going to be some cases. And, you know, the question is who's going to be smart and who's not. Whatever happened with the Marlins, somebody on the Marlins was not smart, okay? Somebody on the Marlins was not following the protocol that they have been, you know, they've been given all sorts of protocols. These leagues have spent months putting together plans. And, yeah, I agree that the bubble is obviously the safest plan. MLS has, you know, had more than 8,000 tests over the last 2 weeks and not one single positive. Everything negative with 8,000 tests. The NBA also is having 0 positive tests.
But they've controlled the environment. That's different. Whereas, see, where I disagree with you is people are casually saying, well, it doesn't affect the players. It doesn't affect kids. Let's send them back to school. But wait a minute. Your coaches are old. Your administrators are old. Your teachers are old. Your janitors are old. Your people in the cafeteria are old. So all these athletes and all these kids are dealing with people that they can kill. They can carry and then they can kill. And so that's the problem. It's not so much, we all know that young athletes are going to mostly get the virus and it's gone and they'll be fine. The problem is, do they pass it on to somebody they love? Do they pass it on to a coach? Do they pass it on to a teacher? You know, I love how we say, well, let's go pack our schools. But wait a minute. All your teachers are old. So all these kids are carriers. And so you're going to now put your teachers at risk. And nobody mentions the teachers. Nobody mentions the administrators. Like, oh, no, this doesn't affect kids. Well, no, dude, but the kids are going to be carrying it to other people. And they need the teachers. And players need coaches. And they need front office people, and they're going to be around all these kind of people. So you're at risk at spreading it to them and killing them. That's the part that bothers me. And that's
right.
The part
that is definitely no. I mean,
we kind of casually forget that.
Right. No. I mean, that's the older people are at risk. I mean, Coach Larinaga, you know, when he's coaching a basketball team at UM, if he's not careful, which the thing is, older coaches and older teachers and older administrators, they have to make a decision. Like at Duke University, you know, at every university, I think right now, the professors are being given an option. You know, do they want to teach in class or do they want to teach online? Almost everything is being done online. Most of the teachers are choosing to do online courses versus going in person. Some of them are choosing to do in person. If they do labs or if they're younger, you know, if they're teachers that are, you know, at a younger age and they feel fine with going in and wearing a mask and being at a distance from their students, but they want to teach in person. You know, those are choices that those people have to make, you know, and it's, it is a tough decision because there are older coaches. I mean, Coach Larinaga, like I said, is not 40 years old, you know, so he's going to be in contact with college-age guys who are not living in a bubble. They're living, off campus for the most part. The UM athletes, at least on the basketball team, a lot of them don't even live on campus. They live in off-campus apartments. So, there definitely is going to be contact between athletes and older coaches or, like you said, administrators, people, secretaries, whatever, people who work in the athletic department. And so, yeah, there's definitely a risk. There's no question that there is a risk. But I don't know how, they either just have to shut down sports. I don't think you can do everything in a bubble. I just don't see how, they could do college football in a bubble.
College
there's
football.
300
I'm
teams.
with you.
There's 300 teams.
Yeah, I'm
there's
with
not,
you there.
Yeah, they would have to have, they'd have to have, there's 300 teams. They'd have to have like a bubble for every 4 teams, because there's like 100 guys. It'd be like 500 players in a, it just wouldn't work. It just doesn't make sense. So
no, it doesn't.
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't even know if they'll be able to do college football and even NFL. NFL is also
You could do
a
that.
very physical sport.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
You could do 32 bubbles in the NFL. You could do that where every team just practices at their stadium and their facility, and they have a hotel that they take over, and that's it. And as long as they're not willing to go back home for a couple of months and they just stay in that triangle, they could have their own personal bubble in 32 cities. If they wanted to pull that off, they could.
Well, but they have to play it. They would have to travel to play the other teams, though.
Yeah, but you're still traveling on your own plane, your own charter. So your own plane, actually, not even a charter. It's your own plane in the NFL. So nobody's going to be in that plane except you. Your pilots have to also be the same thing. They have to go through an entire season of being away from everybody. And then you're only dealing with the same people every day. And then those players at the visiting city, they've been quarantined too because they have their own bubble. That's the only way I think the NFL can pull it off.
That's the only way, but the NFL players would have to. The NFL players would have to accept that basically for the months of August, September, October. You're talking about 5 months.
Yep.
They're not going to leave their families for 5 months. They're just not going to do it.
Pobrecito.
Nobody would. I don't think anybody would do that.
Pobrecito. They have to
They're not going to do it. I'm telling you, they're not going to do it.
Oh, wow. We have military people that don't see their families for years.
No, I know there are, but that's.
Give me a
They choose to go in the military. Listen, but they choose to go in the military. They know that is what's going to happen. When you choose to go in the military, you know that you're going to have to be away, and that's part of the sacrifice you make. When you're an NFL player, that is not part of your job description. So if they don't want to do it, they can just say, no, we don't want to be away from our lives for 5 months, living in a hotel room by ourselves for 5 months. Yeah, and, in that case, they just won't play. They just won't play.
If they have a medical thing, I have no problem with them. But the guys, I can't be away from my family give me a break, dude. You're getting paid millions of bucks. Your family will be better off because you're earning the money. So you're away from them for a couple of months. It's not the end of the world. I always trip out with people with that. It's crazy stuff. Michelle, what are you working on besides that article so folks can check you out there at the Miami Herald?
What am I working on? There's just not that much going on right now. Honestly, everything is COVID. Every feature idea that I have, that I'm thinking of is all related to COVID and how it's affecting sports. Unfortunately, as this whole conversation that we've had has been about COVID.
I know.
We haven't really talked about anybody's record or their playing style we talked a little bit about the contract with Willian, the Brazilian player, but other than that, everything is COVID. In fact, by the way, the other news that just came out this morning is the Fort Lauderdale USL team that's affiliated with Inter Miami, their game tomorrow was just postponed because one person affiliated with the Fort Lauderdale club, they don't say if it's a player or an administrator, tested positive. So in continuing with our COVID discussion, the USL game for tomorrow between the Richmond Kickers and the Fort Lauderdale CF has been postponed because of one positive COVID test on the Fort Lauderdale side.
It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world.
It is.
Follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports. Catch her work there at the Miami Herald. Always doing exceptional work. Michelle, thank you for taking some time. You're awesome.
All right. Take care.
You got it.
Bye.
There you go. The great Michelle Kaufman. Love it. All right. Let's take a quick break. Mike Fiorellino is going to join us next from Mike No Go Zones, baby. He went to Miami Gardens. We'll get into that. We'll talk a little sports, too. We'll have some fun with Mike when we come back right here on The Big O Show, live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, we back. And before we start with Mike, first of all, let's give a little love. Some super chatters. Clee Torres with a little love, along with Drew Bo, or Drew Boo, that is. Thank you, Clee. Thank you very much. Thank you, Drew Boo. Appreciate you, man. He puts more cowbell there. I see you guys are talking about a lot of...
We got to get Philippe in the shot, man. He's part of the team.
That's right. Philippe, if you see Philippe in the shot there, he handles all of our video. He does it also for Mike, too, at the same time. And if you need any video help for your website, okay, or your business, Philippe is a master at filming, editing, putting it all together. It's a beautiful thing.
He's
Mike,
just the man. It's just that simple. The man.
He is. So how you doing, Mike? You doing all right?
Good. Big O, I can't thank you enough for having me on again.
No, it's all good, bro. Give me a break.
It's such a pleasure to to come on your show.
I've
been a fan for so long,
Well, yeah, I'm a fan of yours also because I follow your show now and always get to learn a lot of stuff. Yesterday when I'm watching, and for those of you that don't know, Mike Fiorellino's with us. You can follow him at Mike No Go Zones on Twitter. It's M No Go Zones, right? Is it, or is
Correct.
it
M
No Go Zones?
Correct.
M No Go Zones on Twitter. It's funny how we don't remember numbers; we remember Twitter handles now.
True.
Right? I don't remember any phone numbers now, but I will remember your Twitter handle. So M No Go Zones. But if you go to YouTube. You subscribe to Mike No Go Zones. You can see it there. Subscribe, check it out. Syria, Beirut, Chicago, Baltimore. Now you went to Miami Gardens.
That would be correct. I decided to stay home this time.
Yes.
Because, traveling right now,
it's a pain.
Getting on a plane it's a mission now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I decided to stay local, and I picked Miami Gardens because we've all been there.
Yes.
Well, pretty much.
Yes.
Everyone in South Florida has seen at least either a sports event or a concert there.
Well, I've worked for years at Miami Gardens.
Right.
Because the QAM studios were at Miami Gardens for many, many years. Both of them. The one right off of Ives Dairy on 201, right next to the Kentucky Fried Chicken. And then they moved over to the former Wynn's studio. I used to be an employee of Wynn's 28 years ago.
Wow.
And worked there in Miami Gardens. And then they bought that studio after a few years back, and now they've moved to another studio, but we were there for several years. So I am very aware of Miami Gardens, spend a lot of time in Miami Gardens, ate a lot of the places at the Stadium Diner where you were at.
Sure, yes.
I did not eat at the Ethiopian restaurant because I have never eaten Ethiopian food. I wouldn't know.
You got to try it out.
I would have to try it out, but I don't know what the hell to order. You know what I mean? And I know the Jamaican place you went to, too.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
I love Jamaican food. My problem with Jamaican food is that I'm such a pussy when it comes to the damn spices that it's so hot normally because Jamaicans love – because when I used to work at Alamo Rent-A-Car, I worked with a couple of Jamaican guys. And dude, I would try their food all the time. And it was so spicy, bro. And I'm such a wimp for the spiciness.
Come on, you got to toughen up.
Oh, I can't. My wife is the one. My wife can like eat a jalapeno and laugh at you.
Right.
Doesn't matter what jalapeno you give her, bro. You give her the hottest jalapeno in the world, and she's munching on it like it's chocolate candy. You know what I mean? Like I would be eating Hershey's, she'd eat that and laugh at you. Like what? There's nothing. Me, I would need 5 of these to download just one bite. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
It's crazy, so I couldn't. So, so a lot of the stuff that you were doing kind of, brings a lot of memories to me because I've driven a lot through those streets, in Miami Gardens. I've watched all your other episodes, and usually when you're walking around somewhere, there are tighter quarters, tighter neighborhoods. Yes. There's more structure. It was funny yesterday when I was watching it last night, and I'm watching you walk through the Miami Gardens neighborhood.
Correct.
And dude, it's so desolate compared to what you're used to watching your shows. You know what I'm saying?
It's very spread out.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize Miami Gardens is huge.
And it wasn't lit either as much. So because I'm so used to when you walk in other places, like when you went to Baltimore and you were showing us the different housing areas and all that, but everything was kind of tight and lit up, and there were people around, you know what I mean? So you had ambiance. Or whenever you've done any of your other ones, wherever you go and you're showing where you're at, it's a lot easier to to see what you're doing. Yesterday it was like there was nobody around for you, you know what I'm saying?
You got to cough it up to the fact, too, that we're under lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's kind of staying in now.
Smart.
Even when I was driving around with the rapper, Mike Bell, shout out to Mike Bell, by the way.
Yes.
We couldn't really have a true night out on the town because everything was shut down except for that food truck we went to called Que Rico Ta.
Which
excellent food truck, by the way.
Now was that right off the Palmetto in 57 or 47?
47th.
Okay, right off the Palmetto, right?
Right off the Palmetto.
Right by the Burger King?
Correct. Right
okay, because you didn't show the Burger King.
No.
But I knew it.
We've all seen a Burger King.
Oh, here's another thing. I had a girlfriend that lived in Carroll City.
Okay.
So she lived right by the Captain Crabs, which I don't know if you know where that. I don't know if Captain Crabs is still there, but it was like off of. Is it still there, bro?
We did this about 2 months ago, and unfortunately not.
No, it's not.
No.
Okay.
Right.
There's one, I think, on 79th Causeway.
Yeah, it was just off of 37th and 186. Is that the one that goes right across Carroll City? That street? Is that the one that goes Carroll? Is it 186?
Yes, 186. Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, so it's 186 and 37th. I used to go there a lot. So I'm like, so, I know that area so well because I've been all over, worked or whatever, hung out. So to me, I'm one of the few people that can actually tell you, I didn't just go to sporting events there. I had to work and kind of, hang out there a lot. So for you, what did you pick up from it?
Well, it's when I go to a Dolphin or Hurricane game, like I say in the video, I drive in and I leave as soon as it was done.
Like everybody does.
Like everybody. And shame on me because there's a lot more to offer. I didn't, Stadium Diner is a great place to grab food.
Yep. Top Notch. I've smoked tons of cigars at Top Notch.
Top Notch cigars.
They were
Great
actually
place.
a sponsor of ours for a really short time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a great. They're still there, and the whole shutdown has affected them too badly because they used to be able to sell booze in there.
Right. I know. I
And,
saw you went
yeah.
and you enjoyed your cigar, but no booze.
No, what a shame. What a
Right.
shame. But yeah, he's hopefully a business will start up again if the NFL comes around. We don't know yet. I mean, it's still but even then, who's going to go to the stadium?
Yeah. And I always learn something from your shows that I did not know, and I bet you didn't know this either, Bill, that Miami Gardens became a city just in 2003, right?
Correct. It was finally incorporated.
They were incorporated. They didn't exist until 2003. Did you know that?
No,
Like, you knew it was there, but it wasn't really Miami Gardens officially until 2003.
See, the thing that surprises me is the fact that you remember Joe Robbie when he built the stadium.
Yeah.
The neighborhood made them do a thing that you had to have adequate parking on the grounds
Right.
to accommodate everybody at the stadium. That
Right.
was one of the stipulations
Right.
for building. I would have thought the fact that they did that the community had
Right.
a city, a stamp.
They didn't.
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy? I
It is.
never knew that, and I was like, wow. So it's a baby of a city,
It is.
actually.
Yeah, it's crazy. But before that, it kind of had a bad reputation. The movie director that I filmed, that I
yeah.
interviewed, his name's Mark Samuels. Shout
I
out
saw
to
him.
him. The movie he filmed there was called Murder Gardens.
Right.
And of course, that name brought all kinds of controversy because he got calls from all kinds of
Yeah.
the mayor's like, how can you tarnish the city and this and that? But he's
Dude,
like,
we
hey,
we went through the same thing with Miami Vice.
correct.
When first Miami Vice started, the city officials were pissed because it made us look
Right.
like the streets of Miami were like what was going on with Miami Vice. You know what I mean? So they
Right.
were all touchy about it. But eventually it became a good thing for you
Sure.
because it got exposed constantly.
Of course.
You
And
know?
I remember, who can forget the music and the fashion from that show? I mean,
Right, exactly. And then the Art Deco and everything else. So
Yeah.
everybody wanted to go check it out.
of course.
That's the funny thing that the Miami Vice what ended up doing was enticing people to come to Miami,
Sure.
just like CSI Miami,
Mm-hmm.
because they would come in and out of breaks with these just majestic shots of Miami, and there's a lot of beauty here. You
There
just
is.
got to, if you just focus on some of the negativity in every city, that's all you're ever going to get. And you point out also that it's not Murder Gardens anymore.
No, since 2016,
Right.
things have gotten a lot better. Unemployment's down, and the economy started. Well, now with this with COVID,
Well,
of course,
that's
things,
everybody.
that's everywhere. But things were getting better. And one thing I learned from Mark Samuels, one point I bring up in the video, is only one hotel in all of Miami Gardens.
Yes.
That's that Stadium El Palacio Hotel.
Right.
But now they're building more. I don't know if you remember, there's a Walmart.
Tennis Center.
Right, tennis center.
The football stadium
Mm-hmm.
that has two tenants and holds concerts. You have the Jazz in the Gardens.
Right.
Okay. Now you're gonna have the practice facility there.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming. That's an entertainment destination now.
Right.
A year-round entertainment. Oh, and the F1 race is coming.
Okay.
So they have to add hotels there, man.
Correct.
Because it would be smart. Actually, I think you would get NFL if you put a really nice hotel close to that stadium. NFL teams will end up staying there
Exactly.
out of convenience, and
Right.
you'll get that business right away. You'll get the college teams to stay there too.
Mm-hmm.
You might even get UM to stay there overnight, the night before a game.
Right, especially for a noon game,
Right,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So these are the things that I agree with you, and not to diss the one hotel that's there, but that hotel
Not enough, yeah.
it's not enough, right? And it's an old hotel too, and they've tried to update it and all that stuff. But
Right.
I know because I hear Dolphins all the time, and they have to stay out in the ocean, over in
course.
Hollywood or whatever, and then drive over to the stadium because that hotel is not adequate enough.
Of course, and not only that, but the reputation is like, oh, it's not a great place. So
Right.
I was guilty of it too. I just leave.
Right.
But now, after filming the video there, I'm like, well, now I can hang out. Now I can go to Top Notch Cigars.
Yes.
Now I can go, go to Lorna's Caribbean American restaurant. I can get some Ethiopian food if I want to feel a little exotic. And it's not as scary as media made it out to be. Because let's be honest, a point I keep making over and over again: bad news sells, and it moves fast.
Right.
That's what moves the
Yeah, we don't know. I always say if I sat here and I started to read about the Dolphins at a hospital this week, and that the Marlins went to a homeless shelter,
Right,
and
yeah. No one will care.
Nobody will care. They'll tune out. And it's like, I don't care. But if we want to talk about Antonio Brown getting arrested, then let's have some fun. And X is doing this, and then this is going on, and then Adam Gase is losing his mind, and we train wrecks, baby. We love train wrecks.
Moves the needle.
Right.
That's why reality TV is so popular.
Yeah. And the thing, I think Miami Gardens, because of all of that now, is becoming a real player if they take advantage of it, because they're having so many events now that it's a destination place, and that's why I think you're actually watching what we hadn't seen in years. Stuff is growing around that stadium now. Now you've got shopping centers that you've never had. Not just a Walmart, but the shopping center you were at where Top Notch is at, then across the street all the way down, there's a couple of shopping centers there.
Right.
And I think that's what's really helping. And where are they going to build that hotel? Is it next to the Walmart?
Right next to the Walmart. There's going to be, Mark told me they're going to build 5.
Okay, that makes
sense.
sense.
Of different price ranges. One's going to be a luxury one, and for budget travelers.
Right.
Everything in
Ramada
between.
or Hilton with
Of course,
their
a big chain.
different chains.
And, but you know what?
Marriott is probably the one. Marriott and what are the other ones that they have? It's Marriott, Hampton Inn.
Holiday
Inn. No, they're not Holiday.
Is
They're
it Courtyard?
Courtyard.
Okay.
Courtyard, Marriott's. They have like 4 different ones.
Right.
Chesterfield or whatever that was. A Springfield is also a Marriott hotel. I bet you that's the one that he's talking about, because they usually, when you travel, you'll see those different Marriotts close to each other, and they're really all the same company.
Yep.
It's just the different price ranges.
I'm glad you brought up CSI Miami, though, because, they shoot most of that show in L.A.
Okay. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They only take like a few shots of Miami. And
Right.
That's it. And the reason why a lot of people don't film in Miami anymore.
Scarface did that too, by the
Yes,
way. Half of it was here, half of it was in L.A.
No, they did it for like a few days, and then they found out what it was about, and the city told them to get out of here.
Right.
Well, and because the real estate thing and the hairdressing, that's all in L.A. That's not here.
Correct.
There's a bunch of things that were filmed over there.
The
not
tax
here.
credit ran out to film in the state of Florida. And
Okay.
since then, we discussed that in the video too, Mark Samuels. Well, actually, just to elaborate more on the interview with Mark Samuels, what you see in the video is like a compressed version, an edited version. That's 20 minutes. The full video, the full interview, I should say, is 40 minutes, and that's going to be released today at 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. All right,
So if
cool.
you want to get more detail, dig deeper.
Okay.
It was a really fascinating interview, and he's a great guy, and I can't wait for Murder Gardens 2 to come out.
Okay. He had I thought he did a really good job of describing his city and what it's all about. And obviously eating at that diner, I've eaten at that diner 1,000 times, dude.
Yeah.
Although I'd never eaten at that the food truck. That thing looked good, dude.
It was. It was pretty much the only thing open.
The empanadas, what kind of empanadas were they?
Oh, they were filled with beef, and they were amazing. They're huge. For the people listening on the podcast, talking like bigger than my fist. They were massive empanadas.
I could probably go there. I could go by there right now after this. They're probably right there, right? They're probably there now after.
I don't know if they're there during the day, but
okay.
I mean, they do have social media. If you go on Que Rico Ta, look up on Facebook. I'm sure you'll get their schedule.
Okay, all right. I'll tell them you sent me.
Yeah.
Over there. Mike? What place is next? Portland, Oregon. Oh.
You know what? If you would have told me Portland, Oregon, months ago, I would have laughed at you, because to me, Portland, Oregon is the land of craft beer and donuts.
Right, and roses.
Yeah, and
because they have that event every year that's all about the flowers or whatever.
Right.
It's like historic or whatever.
And their NBA team. That's all we know about Portland.
Yeah.
And now what's going on there? I never would have imagined in a million years.
I never knew they had that kind of fire in them. I
Same
thought
here.
those people were mellowed out, smoking weed and chilling out, dude.
Same here. Guys wearing Birkenstocks and sipping on craft. Exactly.
Right.
I thought it was chilled out hippies there, and now with this.
Yeah, Detroit is where he wants to go to next. It's
actually,
one of them. Somebody did bring up something locally that I thought was kind of interesting. As a bunch of them have come in while you've been talking, so
okay, sure.
I gotta look at it, but it's just Homestead Homestead, is it a no-go zone? Daniel Wright is
Nah.
asking.
Not really. It's kind of rural. I mean,
Yeah,
I think Florida City would be a little
probably.
more rough on the edges. Homestead, nah.
I don't think they're that rough. I think it's more that it's just an agriculture type
Yeah.
of blue-collar type of area.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think that those areas are really that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put it that way. You know, Rick Cab, by the way, says this guy is an amazing series, very brave and informative.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate
Mike, you the man. That's what Florida West is saying.
Some of the places you've been and the fact that you don't have any judo or
none.
karate.
I
like, man, that amazed me.
Yeah.
I can't punch through a paper bag. All right, just.
Pilar Avella is asking, what's Mike's favorite sports teams?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up.
'Cause I know you got the Islanders, right?
Yes, my New York Islanders.
So the Panthers tomorrow, you guys are going to win. I would love to feel confident, but I don't. I have no confidence in the Panthers. None.
Well, this is a sports talk show, so yeah, I'm Islanders all the way. As you can tell by the accent, I'm from Long Island. Islanders, Mets. I did grow up a Giants fan, though. A little bit of an anomaly there. And embarrassed to say it, but I did grow up a Knicks fan, but very
Have you switched over to us yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
you
So
know, as long as
we
Dolan's-
kind of got him at least a little bit.
As long as Dolan is in charge, it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
That guy's a
Dope.
I don't want to
He's
throw
an
him off
idiot.
the air, you know. If,
He's a moron. Don't worry about it. I'll do
Yeah.
it for you.
Okay.
Rick Cab says, what other places we have next to see? So we know Detroit is on your list. What are the other target places?
St.
Yeah.
Louis is still on my list. Seattle, this whole Chaz Chop, whatever they're calling it, Chaz Chop. I was thinking of going there, but it looks like it got dismantled, so that didn't last too long.
Yeah. What did you think? Because to me, Autonomous Zone was a bunch of bums that didn't want to work, and hey, I got a free spot to actually hang my tent at.
Right. I look at it this way.
And
I had a feeling that was going to end as soon as their cell phone bills came in and they couldn't pay it, and all their services got shut off, and you know what? Then they would have left anyway.
Right.
But the fact that they just turned into Lord of the Flies there,
Right.
and someone got killed, and of course the mayor said enough.
Right. Well, finally.
Yeah, I know, right?
The fact that you allowed somebody to take over your police station is disgusting.
It is. I agree.
It's disgusting, dude. Please, give me a break. And they're asking, is that guy behind recording the segment? Yes, Myron, he is recording the segment. Yes, he is Philippe.
Yeah, shout out to Philippe.
Yes,
Best
that's right.
videographer out there in Miami.
Dougie Fresh has a question for Mike. What is
Get
one
over there, man. Get on camera.
What is one of the
Thank you.
biggest myths about no-go zones that you have found to be shared in other areas?
Okay, the violence that the media is always reporting,
Right.
most of it, not all of it, but the vast majority of it is gang-on-gang violence.
Right.
So if you're not in a gang, people usually leave you alone. Now, if you do...
It's what I say about organized crime. I go,
Right.
it's organized. You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it. You're not involved, right? You didn't borrow money from them. You didn't steal money from them.
Right.
Right? Usually nothing's going to happen to you, bro, okay? They're usually going after somebody that screwed them over.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in their way. It's organized, bro. That's why it's
Right.
called organized crime.
There you go.
You're good. You're good.
But unfortunately, in a place like Chicago, there's
A lot
the
of
two
gangs.
gangs go at it, and of course, there's always a kid happens to be crossing the street at a time in a family, and then that's when tragedy it gets really tragic. And it's a real shame that something like that happens, and it shouldn't be happening, but unfortunately, it does.
That subject always pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because you always get the white dude that says, "Well, they're fighting for Black Lives Matter, so why don't they worry about what happens in Chicago on black crime?" And I'm like, dude, you know how racist that sounds?
Yeah.
Like, I'm Cuban. Do you think I was worried in 1980s when Castro shit on us with all the prisoners?
Right.
And we had a whole bunch of refugees here, Cuban refugees that were committing crimes. You think that hangs on us?
Sure.
Like
yeah.
my dad that came in the 50s and the 60s? No, dude, that's a whole... we don't worry about that, bro. I mean, those are... Do you think Italians worry about the Italian crime people? No. I mean, they get straddled with that. Like, they think all Italians are into the mob.
I wish I
You know what
was.
I mean, it's like, to tell a black person that they're worried about crime in Chicago
Yeah.
on two gang members, that's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
How are you going to hold that on black people? That's just, those are bad people. They're not black people. They're bad people. Just like the gangsters, whether they're Italian or Jamaican or Cuban, they're bad people. They're not bad whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I love how people tend to tie one thing to another when it's two things completely. When we're talking about police brutality and everything else, don't compare that to two gang members shooting each other, whether they happen to be black or Cuban or white or whatever it is. You know, like Asians, like they got to worry about the what's that called?
The triads.
The triads. Like, I mean, seriously. So you're gonna tell, hey, how come you guys aren't worried about triads killing triads? Well, that's not our problem, dude. You know what I mean? It's to me that's a racist statement when somebody does that, because you're tying one thing to another that has nothing to do.
It's an easy way out.
Yes, and it's just another way of complaining about something. That
another myth
is
too
affecting
is
you here.
a lot of the people there are very tired of being stereotyped that it's such a it's a hellhole every day.
Right.
They would like to be portrayed better because one complaint I get back from everybody is like, the only time the cameras come down here is when something bad happens. How come they don't come down here when something nice happens?
Right. Right. Exactly.
That's that's a very common problem. But like I said earlier, bad news sells. The feel-good stories do not sell.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So what can you do?
James Roman says, I watched No-Go Zones for Opalaka last night. Production is low but interesting. Shocking how American cities got neglected by the economy. I know you had audio issues on that one.
Yeah, that was my first episode, and I was totally learning as I go. I didn't study filmmaking or
Listen
anything.
to our podcast in August and September of last year. You'll hear a lot of screw-ups, too. That's how it goes, bro. You learn.
Thanks, so.
Yeah, it's not your fault. You live and learn, bro. Happens.
And if you watch Miami Gardens, you see the production value there. I mean, it's like, people say it's like night and day. You know?
I love the new open, by the way.
Yeah, the new opener.
Nice job, by the way, because I know that's you, not him. Okay? I get that. So, Felipa, if you saw the new open yesterday, that was kick ass, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really.
walking across the parking lot, Philippe makes look cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So that was really good. He did a nice job with that.
Yeah, it's it took a lot because for the shutdown and no one really doing anything. It's like, well, how can we? The one good thing about this whole shutdown was like, well, how can I make the series better? And you have a lot of time to think and like, well,
Right.
let's try this, because
Right.
we had all this downtime.
Right.
They couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
Take advantage.
Right. Yeah. No, it's not easy, folks. When you're doing this stuff live and all of that, you hope that everything goes perfect, but then you live and learn as you make mistakes. So keep checking out the show. Let me see if we have any more questions here specifically for you. They showed Old City Hall, the beautiful architecture and abandoned, neglected plazas. What happened there?
Oh, Opalaka?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. The city was built. By
the way, Sky-Fi Systems says come to Gould's. I can show you where all the crackheads hang out. Gould's is a place that's also...
I was thinking of Gould's, yeah.
Gould's is a place that's been known also as a bad area, too. Okay?
Yeah.
I haven't been to Gould's in... God, I don't even remember the last time I went through Gould's.
Right.
It's a long time ago.
Oh, it was when Opalaka was built in the 20s, the developer wanted to build like an Arabian theme, because it's kind of hip thing to do at the time. Because
Right.
I think...
Alibaba.
And... Sinbad, these movies were coming out, early Hollywood films. They're like, oh, let's capitalize on it. Let's pull this cool-looking Moorish architecture.
Yeah.
And then the economy crashed. So
Right.
the neighborhood just kept going downhill after that. But now it's turning around now.
Rosendo says, all this food is making me hungry. Time to go eat and Pines and order me some barbecue chicken, $4.99 at the Dutch Pot.
There you go.
All right.
Speaking of Jamaican food.
I did not know about that, but nice job by you. Super Boom Shack's asking, how about Liberty City? I think that would be really interesting because
Correct.
I think that's a perfect one because I think that's changed a lot, actually, because I drive, when we get off on 62nd and we go to your house and you could tell that there's been a lot more work put into all those areas. So I think it would be I think Liberty City's pretty
I
cool.
think we could actually throw out the G word, gentrification.
Yes. You're right.
It will happen because real estate in Dade County is through the roof.
Right. And everything east is everything that's east is moving west.
Correct.
And it's been like that, and it's pushing everything out. Like, I mean, listen, back in Biscayne and 24th Street and 30th Street.
Oh, yeah.
30 years ago, you were playing with your life when you go there now. Now you could go out and just walk all those streets, and you're good, man.
Or how about Wynwood?
Right? Yeah. Oh no, Wynwood it's as safe as it gets nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's where. But I like Super Boom Shack's idea. Liberty City, I think, is one.
Yeah, if I do
that would
another
be
Miami
really
one,
enlightening,
definitely.
You know, because you got Little Haiti, you got all these little different areas there, and I think it would be culturally, I think it's really cool.
Right.
All that area, you know.
Well, it depends if we can leave. You know, I can't go back to my home state of New York yet.
No.
No, I have to be quarantined for 2 weeks. It's a real shame.
Wicked Knights 32 says, "Yeah, Metal Mike, let's go Islanders." What's that about? Are you a Metal Mike? What's this Metal Mike stuff? Is that a friend or something?
It must be. Yeah, I'm a big. I
know you love your metal, but I didn't know that you were called Metal Mike here.
That's the first time I've been called that, but.
Okay. All right. Yakuzas versus Triads. There you go. Now ask an Asian person, hey, how come you guys aren't worried about Yakuzas versus Triads?
Yeah. I think the Yakuzas are Japanese and the Triads are Chinese.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you know.
Either way. But you'll insult one side or the other anyway, so that'll be good. Dougie Fresh says, Mike, question. Come to Pensacola and go to some of the faith-healing churches we have here. We can meet up and you can get healed of any.
Oh, yeah? Do they got are they the ones with the snakes?
Any malady, but, huh?
I think there's some churches where actually whip out the snakes.
Really?
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's in Pensacola. I think in Appalachia somewhere. You can go look it up. It's some crazy shit.
Now that'd be good. Now Trainwreck, baby. That's
I know. See someone get bitten by a
snake. That's some good for Mike No Go Zones right there. Let's see. Since you work a lot at the Pines in Hollywood, time for me to teach you the best local sports to eat. Big O. Well, cough it up, baby. Let's go. Give me all the info. Big O, it's not just gangbangers that get shot. What about the innocent children that get shot and killed for no apparent reason?
I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, but dude, that happens everywhere. That happens. Innocent people get caught in crossfire all the time. Did you see the other day some guy held up a place and used some lady and her kids as the getaway car, and the guy was shooting at the car and nicked 2 of the kids?
Right, or how about the UPS
and
driver?
Those kids had nothing to do with it except for this scumbag mom of theirs is involved with this scumbag dude that is robbing a place, and those 2 innocent children have nothing to do with it, and they get shot.
Sure, it's tragic.
Oh, you're talking about the lobster robbery.
Is that what it was? It was
$190-something worth box of lobster, and the guy's running out. And the security guard shot at the car. The mother is in the car with 2 kids, 6 and 8 years old, and the guy jumps in the car, and the security guard random shoots and hits 2 of the kids.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Or how about
I think the security guard is actually up for charges.
Really?
Manslaughter.
He should be.
Attempted manslaughter.
He should be.
Yeah, because that's
That's
for
not his
$190 box
and
of lobster.
You don't go shooting into a car, dude. That's not
exactly.
your job, bro. Now, cops don't even do that.
Yeah. Or remember the
I shouldn't say that.
UPS driver that got killed?
Some cops do, actually.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that, actually. That was inaccurate. I apologize. Because we do have some cops that do that.
Yeah.
They do it right on live camera, too.
Yeah.
On
But
top of all of it.
yeah, but unfortunately bad things happen, but it's not just in one area.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So that's a big myth that I uncovered.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. It's but you know, now that our listeners have brought this up, there's some interesting areas still locally.
Oh, absolutely.
That can, you know, because the Goulds, Liberty City,
Brownsville.
I love Brownsville.
Yep.
Yeah, those are areas that could be, you know, I just think that Liberty City. I don't know much about Brownsville or Goulds because I can't say that I'm cruising through those areas much, but I have gone through Liberty City several times over the last few years, and there's been a change. And so I think it would be an interesting one.
Cool.
That one I think
definitely
you
food
can,
for thought.
That one I think you can find some material. So Detroit is the next one out of here.
I already bought my
State.
plane ticket.
Really?
Yes.
When?
August 13, I leave.
Okay.
So I'll be there for 3 nights.
Okay.
There's plenty of time to get plenty of material, and we'll see how it goes.
So you're going to be at 8 Mile?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I would imagine you got to go to 8 Mile.
I'm a big fan of the movie, first of all.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Is that club still around?
Oh, I have no idea. And even
I
if
don't
it
even know
is,
if it existed.
I don't know if it'd be open right now.
Yeah.
That's the
You
thing.
know, but at least
Yeah.
if you can put it on film, it'd be pretty cool.
And one thing about Detroit, it's its musical history.
Oh.
Motown. I mean, just
Rock.
Yeah, Ted Nugent, Bob Seger. I mean,
MC5.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
came from the Detroit sound. And
Yeah, Detroit is
It's-
its music history
It is,
is
it's
incredible.
amazing.
My boy is Greta Van Fleet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're from Michigan, right?
They're from Frankenmuth, Michigan.
Oh, that's say
which
that
is
5 times fast.
just outside of Detroit.
Okay.
So yeah, Frankenmuth, and they're from Michigan. Yeah.
Techno music was born there. Can you believe that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Techno music
It was born in Detroit.
I had no idea. Did you know that, Mr. Techno Boy?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I do now. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's Techno Boy there. So
Okay.
he loves the
The EDM.
EDM stuff. I had
Not all of it, but some of it, man. You got to give it a chance. Seriously.
I
Just
had
give it
no
a
idea.
shot.
That's a really cool fact. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
What happened was that European DJs discovered it. I think I talked. It happened with Chicago house music too. European producers checked it out, like, yo, we got to bring this back to Europe, and they kind of made it more commercial and more
Okay.
pop oriented, and boom, EDM.
Okay.
That's what happens.
That is interesting.
Yeah, Detroit has a great musical history to it.
Yeah, no, that I know about all the other musical
Yeah.
history of them. I had no idea about EDM.
Yeah, it's they've given a lot.
Oh yeah,
But
man.
they're it's going
Yeah.
through tough times though right now. so-
I just watched on Showtime the other night that special of Hitsville, USA, with Barry Gordy and everything. It was like
Right.
it's like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. It is amazing, dude. Just wow.
Well, you have a Kiss mask on, Detroit Rock City.
Yes, that's right. That's
I
right.
think the first Alive album was recorded there, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
I think their Kiss Alive was recorded there. I
Yeah.
think so.
Hobo Hall, I think was the name.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I think
Yeah.
so. I think it was.
I could be
it was-
wrong, you know.
No. I think you're right. I think it was recorded there. If I remember correctly.
One of
Right?
the things really cool for Mike, I mean, from him living in Long Island, WLRN.
Yeah, but LIR.
WLIR. Sorry, you got the shirt. I mean, where all that 80s music started, man. I mean,
Right.
he actually got to listen to the station in its heyday.
Yeah, it was great growing up there, listening to that station. It helped form a lot of my taste in music later on. I didn't listen to a lot of the alternative stuff when I was in high school. I got more into that in college,
Okay.
a little later on. And high school, straight up rock. That's
All right.
it, you know.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, yeah, that happens, and you
Yeah.
adjust, and then you appreciate and all that. I wasn't a big fan of Van Hagar, and then it kind of grew on me as the years went on. You know what I mean? Because I was always strong on the David Lee Roth Van
Oh, come on,
Halen.
50 is a great album. Come on.
I know that's what I'm saying. That after because
Okay.
it was because they were so more poppy than the
They were,
regular
they were,
Halen.
yeah.
And they were already headed in that direction with Jump in
Jump, yeah.
1984 and all
Right.
that stuff. Anyways, Diver Down gave you a little preview, but then Jump they went all out and
Sure.
went poppy. But I was so hardcore with the older Halen that I just did not want to get into Van Hagar. But eventually, you just, dude, it's great music.
It is,
and you just keep listening to
amazing.
it. And now I have all those albums now from that Van Halen.
And let's be honest,
era.
Sammy Hagar aged much better than David Lee Roth.
Oh, no, he always could sing.
Yeah.
David never really was a great singer.
Yeah.
Never was. It was a sound he had
Mm-hmm.
that went perfect with that band.
Right. And as a frontman, he was great.
Oh, no, the greatest frontman ever. In the history of rock, no frontman will ever touch David Lee Roth in my book. I don't know if I'll ever see one. Yeah, I mean, the way the direction that we're going in live music, there's
Yeah,
no
and
way
it's what a
we'll.
shame.
Yeah. So to me, David Lee Roth is the greatest frontman of
Mm-hmm.
all time. But voice-wise, it was a sound he had that went with that bluesy rock feel that they had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where, like, when you hear Fools and Romeo Delight and things like that, you really hear his voice,
Yeah.
how it goes with that music. You know what I'm saying? That's why I became such a huge, guy, because that happened at those early days.
Sure.
It kind of broke up the fan base.
Yeah.
And
it did.
either you were a Van Halen or a Van Hagar fan, almost. You know what and it was almost blasphemous
Right.
to like that one.
I like both because when David Lee Roth went solo, I did go see him live twice, and I enjoyed his shows and real fun.
He was the one that was leading him in that direction.
Yeah, he had who's his guitar player? Steve Vai.
Stevie Vai,
Yeah.
yeah. First couple albums,
Yeah.
wrote Eat 'em and Smile and
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper.
That it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just like Living in Paradise, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, definitely. Stevie Vai was amazing, dude.
Yankee Rose. Yankee Rose.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, Yankee Rose. Kid Rock is also from the
That's
Detroit
right.
area.
I forgot Eminem.
So
and Eminem.
And Eminem, yeah, obviously. Yeah, 8 Mile. So, yeah, Miami Kid J says, go to Brickell. Whoa, what did I knock?
Go to Brickell.
I can't hear myself now. What did I do?
If I go to Brickell, I might drop my
there we go.
$5
There we go.
cappuccino.
It's my
you know?
headset. Okay. How's that?
If I go to Brickell, I might drop my $5 cappuccino I'm
Yeah.
carrying around. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Alapata, somebody says.
Alapata's gentrifying already.
Yeah.
It's already on its way because Wynwood is expanding so fast.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's part of
it's been Pac-Maned.
pretty much.
Yeah. I'm with you there.
Yeah, it's already.
I out of all the ones they brought up, Liberty City's the one that
Absolutely.
really intrigues me. You know what I mean? Is there nowhere in Palm Beach?
I've heard of some bad areas of West Palm Beach.
You know?
Not Palm Beach, the beach town, but if you go deep into West Palm Beach, I heard of some rough areas.
So you go to my hometown?
Well, what would that be?
Belle Glade.
Belle Glade. Okay.
I was born in Belle Glade, Florida, man. I'm a freak. I'm a real Floridian.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of us, man. So I was born in northwestern Palm Beach.
Okay.
Which is Belle Glade, and that's known as, but it's not necessarily known as like this terrible area more poor.
Okay.
Than it is, but that might be that.
Isn't it more of a fishing village, or something?
No, it's farming.
Farming. Okay.
Farming
okay.
is what they have there. Cause
I'm thinking of
that's where
Okeechobee. Okay.
I was born there because a lot of Cubans went there in the 50s and very early 60s.
Okay.
Because of all the sugarcane factories.
Oh, got it.
So Cubans obviously know about cutting sugarcane, you know, and so a lot of Cubans, when they got here, they went up there and they went to find work there. Now it's Haitians that go there.
Okay.
Now the Haitians that go to the farming areas to get work now.
Sure, of course. 'Cause-
So that's where you got a strong Haitian community there now.
Okay.
In that area.
Cool. It's good to know.
Yeah. And the talent that has come out of what is it? Is it Immokalee, Belle Glade?
Pahokee, is that an
Pahokee.
Pahokee, yeah.
It's a triangle
Yeah.
that it's known. And, you know, it's sick. Fred Taylor and Edgerrin
Sure.
James and just
NFL talent,
Antonio
just, yeah,
Brown.
you know.
No, Antonio Brown's from here. Santonio Holmes
Okay.
is the one that was there also. I got my Steeler receivers mixed up. Holmes, I mean, it's endless, the amount of talent. I think Louis Oliver is from that area.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the other
And
thing.
back to the Miami Gardens episode, Santana and Sonoris Moss. Miami
That's
Gardens.
right. That's right. And the other thing, what was it? Rick Ross, Trick Daddy, and who else? What other rapper?
Mike Bell, my friend.
No, but Mike
big
Bell was
rapper,
telling us three rappers he mentioned.
Flo Rida.
Flo Rida. They all have businesses there. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes.
And so, but what we got to? Which are those spots? Did he tell you exactly which are those spots?
DJ
Because it was a
Khaled.
Checkers, right?
Yeah, he owned. Yeah, I think Trick Daddy owned the Checkers.
Is it the Checkers on Miami
and then
Gardens
there's
and
a place
27th? That one there?
Yeah, that one. And
Okay, because
then,
you know, fat people know where food is at.
Okay.
Okay, us fat people, we know where food is at. They are our landmarks, and I think there's a Checkers
Right.
on Miami
Yeah.
Gardens on 27th. So is that Trick Daddy's?
Yeah, no, wait. When is DJ Khaled owns Finger Lickin'.
Okay.
Finger Lickin'. It's like a fried seafood and all that.
A chicken
Yeah,
place?
it's like
or
a
something?
seafood place.
Okay,
And
I
DJ
don't know.
Khaled is the
Okay.
owner.
Okay, I didn't. Where is it at?
27th by right off not too far from the stadium.
Okay, all right. So on that strip,
Correct.
south or north?
South.
South. Okay, I got to check it out.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool to know because usually I'm in that area, and maybe I'll go check out DJ Khaled's place.
If you can, try
the
Ethiopian
cha- the-
food.
the-
You will not be disappointed.
But I don't know what the hell to eat.
Get the lentils and the lamb and the.
Okay.
And they serve it on this bread called injera bread. It's like a sponge. You scoop it up. You don't use forks and knives with the Ethiopian food.
Okay.
Break off the bread, and you scoop up the food and you just. eat.
Okay. All right.
And
Is it spicy?
Not necessarily.
No, don't say that shit. My wife does that. No, it's not that spicy. I bite into it and I'm sweating like a pig. Well, it's not spicy for me. I go, yeah, but it's me, not you.
Right.
So I'm the boss here. You know what I'm saying? So is it spicy?
No, it's not. You can ask for it.
Because the people that can eat spicy, it ain't spicy. Go ahead, here you go. And it's like your mouth is on freaking fire.
And in Ethiopia, they drink something called tej, which is a wine made from honey.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay.
I had some
wow.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
See, the only food I knew from Ethiopia was, of course, the fastest land animal, the joke, Ethiopian chicken.
Right, there you go.
That's the only Ethiopian food I knew of.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would also have to say Freddie Mercury is a frontman, a showman. Yes, he was terrific. But if you never saw David Lee Roth live, okay, doing all kinds of kicks in the air and swords and spears, and I'm telling you, you have never seen a frontman like David Lee Roth. And I love Freddie Mercury. It's his voice that makes him better than everybody else. As a frontman, he had energy, but not like, there's nothing like David Lee Roth, man. I'm telling you, there's nothing like David Lee Roth. I get what you're saying, but Freddie, what's captivating about him is his voice.
Oh, he had probably the greatest voice ever in rock music.
Yes. I will tell you, David Lee Roth's the greatest front-man, and I will tell you Freddie Mercury's the greatest rock voice ever, by far. Let me see if I got anything else. Okay. He says, me and my boys first met DJ Khaled. He was about 120 pounds soaking wet.
Wow. What success did to him?
Drew Boo says, it will burn your ass. Oh, don't do it. You're setting me up.
All right.
You're setting me up. You're setting me up.
Oh, no, wasabi ain't hot. Go ahead.
He goes, the hot Cheetos burn my ass. Yeah, I can't eat those, bro. I can't.
Wow, you really.
No, I'm a total
you have to drink a glass of milk before your meals? Or?
Yeah, yes. Well, hot stuff, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I can only eat stuff that's lightly spiced. Because if it's too spicy, then I spend my time drinking tons of water, bro, and it takes away from it. And the part that sucks is Jamaican food is delicious.
It's awesome.
It's freaking delicious. But
love
then when they
curry goat.
spice it up, that's the part that loses me, bro. It has great taste, but then the fire kicks in, and you're like, oh, crap. And then that's it. It's kicking my ass.
Yeah, if you watch the video, tell anyone who hasn't seen it yet, I order a curry goat in Lorna's.
Yes.
Which is, wow, that place is
okay.
really good.
All right. Maybe one day I'll pick up the guts to do it. Mike, as always, my brother, appreciate you taking some time and coming out here to join us.
No, always.
Along with, it's good to see Philippe because all I ever do is text with his ass. I never get to see him personally. So he's done a little filming. Say hi to Philippe back there. There you go.
He is.
And he does all our videos on YouTube too. So everything you watch on YouTube, he's the man behind the scenes, putting it all together, man. And we appreciate him immensely. Thank you as always.
Yeah, see Felipe. You can find Felipe on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram.
What's the what is it? The Phil Nine Creative.
Nice.
Phil Nice Creative. That's it. Phil Nice Creative, and .com too, right? There you go. So if you need some great video work, this man is the man you want to hire. If you want, just reach out to me, and I'll get you his number and all that good stuff, and I'll hook you up. Mikey, appreciate you, my brother. It was a really good series with Miami Gardens, and I look forward now. I want to see that whole interview now.
Correct. Yeah, 6 p.m. It'll be on the YouTube channel, Mike No Go Zones on YouTube, and it'll be there. The whole interview uncut.
I loved how he said he put that movie together with no budget. They would be filming scenes in different parts of Miami Gardens, and then the cops would say, "Hey, we could shut you down."
Yeah, you had no permit. Nothing.
You got no permit, but we'll let you go. And so it was cool to see. That he got those breaks that everybody needs, my man.
Of course, he's a great guy, and I'm cheering for him. I'm cheering.
He's likable. I tell you that.
And he's a Miami Gardens native.
Yeah.
One point he makes is that he got a lot of criticism for naming his movie Murder Gardens, but he's like, hey, I grew up here. I was born here. My kids go to school here. I'm not here to trash the city. This is just what we called it before it became an official city. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm just reflecting reality.
Yeah.
But, someone has to complain about something all the time. That's just the way it is.
Oh, dude, I had a guy come on the other day, about 3-4 days ago, and he was like, hey, how come you don't have phones? I would love to call in and explain. And I'll go, okay, what's your question? And then he disappears.
Yeah.
And it was just to complain about something that, at the moment is not part of the show, which he doesn't understand that the show 60% of the time is on the road.
Right.
If I do phones, it has to be in a mobile sense and a digital platform that I don't know if that exists at all, that a company's going to allow you to take phone calls through a mobile, because it has to be portable.
Yeah.
So that
Karen behavior, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it is, Karen behavior. Because come on, give me and like I don't read the chats or the emails or the tweets. Come on, I mean, you send them in. I a lot of times I get to them and we get to talk about them a little bit. So what do you think tomorrow? Do the Heat win? Do the the Panthers are not going to win. In your
Go
eyes.
Islanders. I got to say that one more time. I think the Heat. I like this Miami Heat team.
Yeah, me too.
I really do. And they think they play Denver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think they got a shot.
Yeah. I have hope for the Heat. I have no hope for the Panthers. That's where I'm frustrated with them. You know.
And will the Marlins come back? Is baseball done for? That's
well, now more positive tests.
Oh man.
You know.
Yeah,
So
listen, I'm
and
a
those are two
baseball fan.
playoff teams.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's see how they handle that now, because
I
the
know.
Marlins, they were casted aside like,
I know.
you guys aren't going anywhere. So if you're off
Yeah.
a week, at the end of the year or in 2 months, if you don't need to make the games up, we don't care about you.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. True.
Mikey, thank you, my brother. Appreciate
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on.
You got
People listening, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And
That's right. Subscribe to it. MikeNoGoZones.com is the website. You can go to Mike No Go Zones on YouTube and also follow on Twitter, MNoGoZones, also on Twitter.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
so much.
Kenneth in Cleveland sends in another super chat. Thank you, sir. Big O, have you ever heard of the blues guitarist named Johnny Guitar Watson? If not, check him out. He played with all the greats. Okay, I got to check him out. Johnny Guitar Watson. Let me write it down here. I got a couple things to check out this weekend that you guys have been telling me over the week, which is a beautiful thing. Let me see. I think there was another super chat that came in. Myron sent in another super chat. He says, Mike, promise you will go to do a show in Nicaragua. Yeah. Tell me what you think of the food, the villages, and the religion there.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Okay? Yeah, but wait a minute. Do you want to go to Nicaragua?
Absolutely. Do you know why?
Why?
Esteli is one of the best places to grow tobacco.
I know, for cigars.
It's for cigars.
I know, but it's not a safe country right now.
What's the name of the show?
Okay. Enough said. I'm done. It's called Mike No Go Zones. Okay, I got you. All right.
If you're not supposed to go, that's where you go.
I know that's Mike No Go Zones. He's a badass. He takes on spices and spicy places. That's just the way it is. I like it. All right, we got to wrap it up. And as always, we thank Philippe and Bill handling everything on video and audio. As always, we thank our super chatters. Myron is an extraordinary super chatter 3 times today. Thank you, Myron. You're a stud. Josh chiming in. Kenneth in Cleveland did it twice also today. Thank you. Very studly. Super Boom Shack dropped it strong again today. Thank you, sir. Jesse in Minneapolis. Clee Torres. Drubo. And right now, Omar Lopez gave us a little fist bump and a sticker. I like it. Jam, Bill. Wow.
Recent research has shown
super chat
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
Myron goes, damn, Mike, you know your shit. Go to Esteli and Malaya in Leon. So there you go.
Awesome.
Yes. I've been wanting to go to Nicaragua too eventually, but to go to a cigar factory. Because that's always been my thing. I'd love to go check that out. Perdomo has invited me several times, and so has Espinosa.
And let's not forget their rum.
Cigars. Yes, that's right. You're right about that. Drew Boo sends in a super chat, a number 2 of the day. Thank you, Drew Boo. I appreciate you. Alexa V goes, is O leaving? Well, yes, for a
The
little bit.
onslaught to not let you go, bro.
Yeah, I know. Josh just chimed in with another super chat. Thank you, Josh. He says, stay safe, everybody.
I'm just going to count to 5 and then fire it off.
And the better half sends in another super chat, Alexa V. And Julius 305 follows it up with another super chat. Thank you so much. You guys are
Question
absolutely
is,
awesome.
can the Panthers fire up that horn like that tomorrow?
We'll see. I think you'll get some kind of a show over the weekend since we got the Heat and Panthers on Saturday. Something tells me they're going to give me material to talk about. So maybe we'll have a little show over the weekend, a small one, but we definitely will tune in. So subscribe as always and like. Thank you all out there as always. Appreciate all of you for tuning in, watching, downloading, texting, tweeting, however it is you support us and our amazing sponsors. Subscribe to my man Mike No-Go Zones. Go to the YouTube website and subscribe there and watch the latest episode at Miami Gardens and check out the other stuff, man. You know, Beirut, right? Lebanon. Oh, Syria. I'm sorry, Syria. What is it? Baltimore. Opelika.
New Orleans.
Chicago.
South Bronx.
South Bronx. There's a whole bunch of areas that are interesting, and you always learn something about these areas. So check out my man Mike No-Go Zones and subscribe. We'll see you probably sometime this weekend, if not on Monday. Please get your hurricane supplies. Be safe. You never know if this thing jogs west and it gives us more trouble. So be prepared. Andrew did it to us. This can do it to us. Be prepared and wear your mask whenever you go out. Don't be a Karen. Don't be a Ken. Be safe. Be good.
Even if you're out there riding waves over the course of the weekend, wear a mask.
Dougie Fresh, thank you. Sending in another super chat. Mike, how can I get in touch with you with an idea of collaboration? Dougie Fresh, send me your number. I'll give it to him. All right? He'll get in contact with you. You be good.